You don't.
Thank you.
There we go.
Everyone needs to hear
Much
it.
better
Thank you. That's a
timing.
much better timing. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are Not Great RPG, and we're here once again for the Fey Frontier RUSTFall. Well, Mike's already in the chat. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much for your daily posts, so that way I know you're alive. We love to see it. Thank you. Thank you. You are punctual. That is correct. Every time, right on. We might not be, but you are.
Yeah, right.
So thank you. Yeah, we're going to go around the table real quick, introduce ourselves. I'll read the recap from last time, and then we'll pick up where we left off last week.
Hi, I'm Glenn. I play Damon, and everything is fine. Don't worry about it.
The house is not on fire. My name is Savannah, and I play as Barry.
I'm John. I lit the house on fire. I play Ulysses.
I'm DJ. I play Mark II, and there's a fire?
I'm Sarah. I play Genevieve, former occupant of the house that is no longer on fire.
Bring a bucket and a mop. I'm Chell, and I will be playing Andy.
Because you're a firefighter.
Because I'm a firefighter.
And I'm Don, and I'll be playing everyone else, possibly including Functional Jugs.
Everybody's favorite club.
That NPC.
Wait.
Oh
You
my
guys aren't going to
god.
the circus.
Write that down.
Write that down.
I
Wait,
can't wait.
punctual jugs?
That's Mike. Mike is Punctual Jugs.
Timely jugs.
Clown. Written down. He exists now.
We got to figure out all the great alliterative names for clowns that we can make out of that.
Yes.
Timely tits. There's a second.
Last week, the most reliable gentleman in Beacon's End. Ulysses explodes the writing desk of Richard Tannenbaum, who downstairs turns towards the sound, taps his cane, vanishing and appearing at the door. The door was stuck shut from the ropes that Ulysses tied around the handles. Richard asks, "Now, what might you be doing in there, son?" Ulysses grabs 3 tightly wound scrolls that were hidden in the desk and says, "Not no more," and sprints up the stairs. In the safe, Genevieve finds a picture of Richard standing with a fine-dressed dwarven man, not the one here today, a simple, small locket, and a sealed document. She relocks the safe, pushes the dresser back, runs out onto the balcony with Ulysses and Barry. Barry whips out a small device, casts Featherfall on the group as they sail over the railing over the fence on the side of the house. Richard taps his cane again, kneels next to Damon disguised as Ulysses, and questions him intently, as he is currently wearing the face of the man that has broken into his office upstairs. By the door, Andy sees Barry quickly gesture to her, holding up a small metal object, pressing it into the ground before the 3 escapees flee off into the distance to Genevieve's former burned-out workshop. Richard continues to question Damon, his iris flashing with light similar to the light from someone rewinding a tape, indicating to Damon, Andy, and Mark II that he knows they came to the gate as a group, and that Damon was, at the time, wearing a different face. Damon drops his disguise, introducing himself as the Nightingale, and tells Richard that they were hired by the others in order to provide a distraction downstairs. Richard says the only thing stopping him from either killing the 3 of them right now or ransoming them off is that he needs them alive to make contact with the rest of the party, and the fact that he is a reliable businessman, certain that a deal could be made. Damon indicates that an introduction can be made, and Richard warns him to not bother fleeing because though Beacon's End may be for those looking to run away from other lives, it is always watching, tapping his eye. Midnight at the Grinning House. The 3 leave. Andy runs to the side of the fence where Barry pressed the object into the ground after they're escorted off the premises. She picks up a small, spiky orb whose eyes open, identifying Andy, pulling out a small sign and writing "Remember the Fire" on it before turning the small little sign to ash. She pockets the small orb creature and joins the others as they separate, agreeing to meet at the workshop.
She joins us to separate.
Yes. In the workshop, Ulysses and Genevieve inspect their findings in the burned-out basement while Barry covers their tracks in the ash upstairs. Ulysses unfurls the 3 small scrolls, finds 3 sections of a larger land contract with Richard's name nowhere to be found on it. In addition, other papers reveal several freight contracts and manifests that are legitimate but sketchy at best, with several different holding companies and names on it, all with his signatory last name, Tannenbaum, in the title. The wooden cube does not yet reveal its secrets, with no visible opening on any side. Genevieve inspects the picture, finding nothing on the back, but noting the 2 men standing in a field with shovels, a half-dug trench, and something buried behind them. She copies the photo, carefully getting all of the details. She then moves to the locket made of a crude metal plating, finding inside a dried pressed seed with the word resonance scratched into the metal underneath it. The document, which she carefully unseals, is a land lease contract, a farming contract specifically for water plot Delta 17 located in a dead zone in the middle of nowhere in the desert. She notes this as odd, as it is not a regular contract for land, but for farming specifically. Barry comes downstairs, asks about the cube. Ulysses says he can't yet figure out how to open it and shakes it to see if anything rattles inside. He hears a very slight whispering as he does, but Barry hears some sort of resonance. Ulysses casts Detect Magic again while all of the items are laid out on the floor. He again gets Divination from the cube, and from the locket gets Enchantment, Abjuration, and Necromancy. He warns Genevieve not to put on the locket. Barry hands Ulysses the glasses and takes the cube from him to inspect it. Andy and Mark II enter, leaping down into the basement, updating the rest of the party on the situation. Damon takes a bit longer, running first a few private errands of his own. He meets with Eve, the owner of the Shade Bazaar, and then arrows a shop for disguises and enchanted clothing. They enter a private room as a shadow peels itself off of the wall, forming into her shape, manning the counter, Chell's favorite thing in the world.
Hated it.
He asks her what it would take to make someone disappear. She says that particular skill set would best be addressed with Sister Mirabelle at the Widow's Veil, another narrow shop. Eve removes her cloak, revealing a nearly sheer dress beneath it, flirting with Damon, turning a small brooch on it as it turns into a
Wait,
jacket.
she was flirting?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was. She wasn't. Damon asks what something like this costs, and she says a drink and an interesting evening. She twists the brooch back into a cloak, but leaves it on Damon's shoulders. She tells Damon to please tell Sister Mirabelle hello for her, staying seated on one of the many couches in this private room. Damon leaves, noting the mirror image figure of Eve, following his gaze, whispering, "Have a good evening, Nightingale."
Good evening.
Good evening. He heads to the Widow's Veil, speaks with Sister Mirabelle, also in a private room, about falsifying a memory in his own head of killing 5 people in a small room. She tells him that memory is tricky, especially when modifying one's own memory. You must believe it, or others that view the memory will fail to see its details in full. He pivots, suggesting that the memory be given to someone else instead. She says this is easier, that it will fade after some time. He leaves a 20 gold deposit and heads to join the rest of the party, telling her that he will return at 11 tonight to pick up the draught. Damon joins, tells the party his plan, then quickly approaches Ulysses and with not full force punches him in the cheek, telling him not to abandon him wearing his face without knowing the plan again. Ulysses spits a small bit of blood, telling Damon that had it been anyone else, he would have had to come back for them, but he knew that Damon could hold his own and adapt, so he felt comfortable with the plan. Damon acknowledged the faith in him that Ulysses had and apologizes for the punch. Ulysses says no ill will and shows the contract to Damon, who reads over it. Mark II and Andy inspect the cube. Mark II shakes it, presses it against his face to try to capture some of the resonance, gets a small bit more, a rustling of leaves. Andy shakes the cube and spins her hand, hearing the same as Ulysses did, but Barry too now hears the leaves, but also the scraping of nails on stone. She takes the cube and retreats into the tunnel for silence. The rest of the party discuss the plan. You're putting it in your mouth, Jill? How I just witnessed out of the corner of my eye? The rest of the party discuss the
God damn it.
Mind your business.
I'm holding it on my left, and you're right in my peripheral vision. I saw you doing that. The rest of the party discussed the plan
Everybody quick, put it in your mouth.
to meet Richard tonight at midnight and blackmail him with all these things in exchange for the echo tags they need. The plan of Damon killing them with his false memory is deemed risky, and the party abandons that for the moment, with the primary goal being to blackmail Richard. Ulysses holds up the contract, saying that Richard is not reliable nor a gentleman. With the glasses now on, he spots a hidden note invisible on the back of the document. Shell's clean. Bones want the lower cisterns for logistics, want the reroutes complete. Claws are sniffing at the Mesa tunnels already. We give them the highlands to draw their teeth. West doesn't know what it's for. Let's keep it that way. As he reads the note aloud, Barry in the tunnel succeeds, making a small platform of metal. She blows beneath it, sending the cube skyward, spinning it raftly with her deft possum hands in the air. The cube sparks with bright light and rings out loudly through the tunnel, echoing into the basement a voice that both Ulysses and Genevieve recognize as the voice of the now deceased Morgan Lux. I think it's breathing. I think it knows when I'm near. You said it would. Please, I can't sleep anymore. It's still singing. And we are going to pick up there in the basement of Genevieve's burnt-out workshop the fading echo of a voice of the deceased Morgan Lux.
She's the one in the tunnel with the cube.
Yes, she is.
Okay, so I will be perplexed, honestly, and I would head out of the cave, obviously putting it away and like securing it, getting out of the tunnel and being like, "Hey, Ulysses, I think I definitely heard some happenings with Mr. Morgan Lux in this cube here. Sounded of a desperation. He's saying it's still singing."
That's quite troubling news. You said we all heard the voice echo out.
Yeah.
You know that voice.
It's a dead man.
What was singing?
Can't say I know quite yet, for sure.
Maybe he was on some hallucinogens, listening to stuff.
Yeah, Mr. Lux was definitely a zest man.
You said he's a dead man. Where did he die?
That's the man who we found on a shepherd's hook outside the tunnels whose murder we've been investigating.
I knew that.
the-
I was
the last-
testing you. You've done phenomenal.
the
Cold
last
murder that had
several
brought us
I
all
wanted to make
together.
sure you remembered.
The murder
and you
that brought
did.
us together as friends and companions
I will
on
put
this
it in my
quest for
notes.
adventure.
Not a
body's just
creature that I
lying
should be
there,
worried
right?
about. He is doing great.
It's been removed since, but yes. He
I
died.
also knew that.
You did.
I'm glad we could recap that for everybody else.
Chat has been brought up to date of the memory.
You're
of the
welcome,
party.
Chad.
Yes, the man that was ritualistically murdered.
In case you were wondering.
Yeah, for your sake,
For your-
Genevieve.
For the other
Since
people
you
that
asked.
didn't know.
Since you asked. That's all you had to do, Genevieve. was
Thank
just
you for
ask.
asking. Oh, fuck.
Well,
Yes, Morgan Lux been dead several months now, murdered outside the cistern tunnels. I've been looking into the cause of that man's death.
did I know you died? Was that
Does it
news?
say it in your notes? Because I don't remember. You
I-
had stuff about Morgan Lux, but I don't.
It was
Everybody's got different
it was
stuff.
approximately a week before, but I don't know if it was like news
If
around
it
the
says
city.
a week before, then you know that he's dead. I'll have to look at what I wrote in your notes.
Do you, here.
That's why everybody's got individual notes.
Nick.
Sir?
Morgan's dead.
I got it.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Just a daggone minute.
He owed me $20.
That son of a bitch.
Yes, you would know that he was killed.
All right.
Like I was saying.
Like I was
Now that
saying,
we're all caught up.
now that we've all gathered ourselves collectively, yes, it is of grave concern that it is Morgan Lux's voice in there in particular, especially in the possession of Mr. Tenenbaum.
Yes.
It's funny, Tenenbaum didn't strike me as the type of man to use the occult.
I don't necessarily believe that Tenenbaum himself killed Morgan Lux. I don't know whether or not Tenenbaum himself called for the death of Lux. This seems as though, based upon my reading, we are dealing with a triple threat. It looks like there might be 3 individuals potentially invested in this, well, area of the cistern tunnels of Beacon's End. The Claws of Thunder are a syndicate that I said before, invested heavily into the production of zest and are looking into methods of irrigating dead land. And this is a contract for a dead zone. This is done through Cerulean Horizon Holdings. I don't know that company in particular, but I'm quite familiar with the Bones Trading Company. And Bones, well, they're looking to monopolize zest, and if the Claws of Thunder, as one of the cultivators and prominent forces of agriculture for it, trying to expand, makes sense that Bones would have killed Mr. Lux, as Mr. Lux was formerly a member of this syndicate, the Claws of Thunder. But this is where the introduction of Mr. Tenenbaum does throw, obviously, a bit of a kink into this plan.
You said Morgan Lux was part of the Claws of Thunder?
Formerly, yes. When I originally found him on his way Claire Lux bound. I do not know whether or not he still had ties with the Claw Thunder at that time. But I know that he was digging out into rust, out in the sand, for a long, long time.
What was he chasing rust for?
Selling. Had a deal struck with that Bumbledore man that I brought up before. Rustricity entrepreneur out in Claire Lux. I don't know whether or not he had affiliations with Cerulean Horizon Holdings. Could be, maybe not. But somehow now Tannenbaum has found himself invested in the interests of two competing syndicates. Whether or not he is working for one against the other, or whether or not he is simply an independent tossing his hand into the game, this is where I suppose we might find ourselves, unfortunately, at an impasse of knowledge.
I might have seen something.
Seen what?
You're Morgan Lux
Uh-huh.
in a bit of a situation. Prior.
Like when he was hanging from that rust hook all dead?
More like when he was still up and breathing.
All right.
About a week before.
Before he died?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was, caught him in let's see, one of the walkways above Ash's Row. He didn't see me, I didn't interact, but he was in quite a state at the time, talking to some other figure.
Other figure.
He's going off about someone coming for him. I recognize the voice.
Does other figure look like anything, or just a fucking bundle of cloaks?
He's wearing a hood. Maybe elf or
Tall?
pretty average. Nothing crazy.
What kind of build? Big boned? Slender?
Long?
Slender, probably.
Handsome? Rugged?
Average.
Oh.
Functional.
Functional.
I didn't get a good look at him.
Did you hear their voice? Did they even speak?
Fourth one down was the person speaking.
Yeah, they mentioned something about burning something. There was a
Uh-huh.
conversation about.
Genevieve, I'm gonna need a lot of details about this situation.
I understand that. This is the first time I'm hearing that this is something you're even interested in. I caught them on a whim. I was just passing through.
Understood. Burning something.
It was something they were trying or not trying to sell. Looking for someone named or waiting for someone named Roland.
Roland Bumbledore. That man that I mentioned. This means that it was perhaps an interim. Morgan Lux was out there in the dunes looking for rust on behalf of Mr. Bumbledore. He struck a contract with him. When I said last week, well, when I said a few moments ago, that
Well, you don't gotta yell. You're making Mark too off, right? You scared him.
We gotta change out your air filter.
time a weird circumstance here in the lands of the Fey
quite
Frontier.
ashy down
At
here.
least I'm wearing a mask.
That's good. Not all rust landed in sand. Some of it is buried beneath old landmarks. Some of it has fallen, unfortunately, into lakes or other bodies of water. Mr. Bumbledore, I believe, is looking for particular kinds of rust. You said you grew up in it?
I did.
You got one hand of it.
I do.
It's the most you ever seen on a person.
Probably the,
And most of it of that kind?
variations of. I mean, my mom has. I mean, both my parents have different variations, whether it's their eyes, their ears, their hearts. I mean,
Hearts?
pacemakers and such. I mean, the highest ranking members in our church were the ones that were the most rusted out, so to speak.
Oh, they would have loved me.
True. Things that serve a purpose,
Correct.
or things that serve a military purpose? Why not both? Exactly.
Depends on who you're asking. If you were to ask a member of the church, they would have told you it is to become one closer to the rusts above. My personal findings, I believe that they were trying to start possibly an army of some sorts. I don't know what their intentions were with corrupting us the way they did, but that's why I'm out here.
So here's the thing. An individual like Lux, who has, allowed himself to fall deep into the grasp of zest in the pursuit of rust. I don't know what he wanted for it. The contract that he made with Mr. Bumbledore was on behalf of him supplying him the parts that he found out in the desert. Parts that, based on other individuals I have apprehended over my long career, people trying to go deeper into the earth to find more. See, rust fell a long time ago. Some of it's deeper than we realize. That means that it's not just about digging. That means sometimes it's about diving. A diving, too, is treacherous. And I don't know whether or not there is an overlap, again, with Mr. Tenenbaum or the Bones Trading Co. I know only that the Claws of Thunder look to better irrigate these dead zones, to grow more zest, make more money.
That I don't know that Mark II knows that. I mean,
Okay. The note on the back. It is curious to me because it is on the back of the contract, so I do not know whether or not they anticipated whoever left this note for Mr. Tenenbaum. This is on the back of the contract that is from the Water Reserve District on behalf of Beacon's End through Cerulean Horizon Holdings.
I will also say, just as a clarifier, the back of the contract it's like there's a sticker on the back.
Oh,
It's
that's
not
right.
written
It's
on the
not
back.
written.
It's on a
Okay.
separate piece of paper.
Never mind.
So
that makes sense.
yeah.
Okay.
That
Thank you.
still remains to be
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
whether it was sent or sent back.
Correct.
But
Yes. Okay. I forgot that
it's
it
not
was.
physically written
Yep.
on the document.
Well, if it was in the possession of Mr. Tenenbaum, he's got an eye for things, so to speak, very similar to your glasses. So if there was indeed a hidden message only to be revealed with that tech, very likely he is to have seen it.
Possibly. It could be also.
Andy,
that-
your hand.
Pay no attention to the man without a hand.
The hand behind the mask.
It could also be that this is Tenenbaum's note out. As I said, this is not Tenenbaum's document. He has no legal ownership. He has the deed in his possession, but if the transaction has already been struck, there is a land broker that on the other side of this would register the property being in the hands of Cerulean Horizon Holdings, not in Mr. Tenenbaum's name.
Do we have any documents signed by Mr. Tenenbaum himself or written up there as such?
None of the documents that I had his signature. They were
Oh, wait,
all
we got his
like-
diary.
Did this one?
Didn't have his
I don't
signature.
have-
His name is
Like, I don't know
in
what's in
it,
the
but
diary.
his not. He did not
it doesn't
sign
matter what's in there. It's to compare handwriting.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Have you looked in the diary?
I didn't know I got
I don't know who has the diary.
You have the diary.
I have the diary, but haven't opened it.
Sure.
No, yeah, because you were fucking around with the
Yeah.
cube instead.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, when Damon asked that, you have every right to respond.
Oh, well, look at here. You want to look at what secrets are
Is
hiding?
that his ledger? What is that?
I don't know. It's just a book. It was hiding, and it looks real special. I'll crack it open.
Found it
There's
on
no
his,
magic inside.
What was it? His nightstand?
Starts
On his
screaming.
nightstand. Yeah, so you can see on the inside of this document is not common handwriting. It is glyphs and symbols and coded shorthand. To anyone that doesn't know the solve, it is utter gibberish of symbols. So for handwriting
Fantastic.
comparison, not super helpful.
It's not thieves' cant, right?
It's not thieves' camp.
Oh, man. You know thieves can't.
Oh, shucks.
It's not celestial.
It's not goblin. I speak
not-
goblin.
That's not to say it cannot be decoded. It's just that
Well-
visually, for handwriting comparison, it is gibberish at this time.
There's no letters in the shorthand that could match.
There are symbols that kind of look like words. You can see if you're trying to match letter to letter. I could let people make perception checks for that to try to match up single letters with single letters, but
We can try and decipher it, but I don't. In terms of forging, this isn't the most helpful.
Yeah.
There's no regular writing in it at all. It's all
yeah. There's no dates, there's no index. The pages are in it's House of Leaves. The pages are in an unknown order.
Oh, I'm gonna be so mad if we try to decode this and it's just gibberish and we come to find out Tenenbaum can't write. Oh yes, I'm taking plenty of notes as a good gentleman.
Are we even certain that it's Tenenbaum's?
it was in his nightstand.
I mean, I could put anything in a nightstand. That doesn't necessarily mean it's mine.
Was there
I suppose that's true. Yeah.
What if...
when I found
What
it?
have
Would
you
there
got in your
have been
nightstand?
like a quill and ink next to it?
Yeah.
So it was in the place where seemingly it would have been written in, unless someone else was sleeping in that bed, which, based on observation, isn't totally unfeasible. But
Forgive me for being blunt, but as a former whore, I did not really bring my diary to the other rooms to write in and then leave there with them.
Well, my only concern is if this man is corrupt, which he very much seems he is, perhaps he had gotten his hands on somebody else's journal to try and decipher, or try and decode.
Certainly. That makes significantly more sense.
So perhaps he's also trying to decode whatever this journal is saying. Or maybe it's his. Maybe he speaks the whatever he's writing, this jumbled pictured nonsense, but I
Can I look at the
Well-
diary?
Sure.
no.
Yeah.
Barry?
Well, here you go.
Oh, you can
tell me a story.
still have detect magic up. Anything.
So there's no magic on the diary itself.
Yeah.
But you do have the glasses on.
Uh-huh.
And you can see that in the, like, if I'm holding the diary like this,
Yep.
and the text goes across, written, like, against the binding
Yep.
are other sets of symbols that were not visible without the glasses.
Cool. Do they look like they are meant to serve as the legend for whatever cipher this is? Or does this look like it is a discrete message that is obscured?
More likely that it is the key than it is the like, message,
Sure.
like a hidden message.
Okay. Yep. While looking at that and seeing that, when you're saying it's symbols, right? Obviously, if it's words, there's going to be spaces in it. Are there actually spaces, or is this just like symbol, 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 no discernible spacing? Because obviously messages can be still hidden with that. You don't need to actually put punctuation in. This can be like an old-fashioned telegraph of like, stop,
Yeah.
indicating where a period would go.
Yeah.
Are there any gaps between these spaces, or between these like glyphs?
On the glyphs, there are no spaces. That's not to say there is not a glyph that is a space.
Yes.
But
Cool.
at the time, no, there is no spaces. It is just
Okay.
like triangle, circle, a weird like oval.
Just a string of characters.
Correct.
String of characters.
And-
It's wingdings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's wingding.
Yeah. It feels to me more like it's fucking lines of code.
Right. Yes, it does.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, okay, now that there's not clear segmentation for words, I mean, for the legend, does it look like it's an easy one-to-one parse out for like a letter, or does it?
It looks like there is a parse out, but as you get further through the letter, it starts to double up on itself.
Okay. So are there like 26 of them for like the alphabet?
There's more than that.
That's where.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like 2 symbols for A.
Sure.
So
Okay.
ideally, you're also that's like the key.
Yeah.
You're also, or that's the lock. You're also missing the key to
Absolutely.
get rid of some
Yep.
of the symbols. That's what you don't have.
Gotcha. Well, it ain't magic. And it ain't Lux. But there's definitely something suspicious within this. I would just take the glasses off, because you're still holding the diary. I would just point for somewhere to place it down and then offer you the glasses.
Okay. Well, I'll just sit right down on the floor. I mean,
Yeah.
there's nothing really around.
Yeah, everything burnt out.
I'll put the glasses on. I'll be like, I see. So we got to do some mathins with this. Looks like we need to put some time and thought into this. But do you think that this is going to be something important that goes along with any of these contracts, receipts, and shippings and whatever have you?
I would look over all the papers once more and look over whatever that is.
That's the one that was in the.
Okay.
In
Oh, this
the-
is the one that I haven't seen at all.
Yeah.
One other thing, since you're looking at the contract, would you also be looking at the picture in the picture frame that she has, or the locket?
Oh, yeah, since you have other things.
I would have shared everything.
Yeah,
I wasn't
if we're using this as the like, hey, everybody get in like a
Yeah.
little circle and just
Yeah.
throw stuff on the floor.
Yeah, because I
So-
don't
yes.
physically have a picture.
Absolutely, she's got the glasses at this point.
Yeah, the picture, the person standing next to Richard, absolutely
Roland Dumbledore? Yeah.
Yeah,
All
100%.
right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing with listening to what I just heard from the cube. It sounds like he was in one of those tunnels.
In the cistern,
Yeah,
it's where Lux spent a lot of his time when he was here in Beacon's Inn.
doing all that nonsense.
And that's also where he was killed.
So you think this was right before? Because he was scraping for life, it sounds.
Yeah.
Or was this...
Now, Lux spent several days losing his mind here in Beacon's Inn.
He was already losing his mind when I saw him.
We never saw the actual body at the scene, right? When we arrived,
No, you did.
we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
hanging from the hook.
Did his nails seem to have like fresh scratch, like his nail beds being all screwed
Yeah, his
up
nails were
and-
fucked up.
Okay.
Yeah. It looks like they've been like that for a while, where you can see that like the growth is even pulled back a little bit too.
My question was, why would someone have this cube recorded for this moment of Morgan Lux's life? Like, what was important in this moment?
I don't know.
Maybe it was just to hear him fearful and afraid.
He said he was killed in some sort of ritual sense.
Mm-hmm.
Was this used as a threat
Real evil shit.
to someone else who could hear the same thing as I can? Who else is listening? Are they using other drugs? Who's gonna be able to hear this box besides someone who's got that resonance stuff that Chime thinks of and talks of and lives?
I mean, there has to be other devices like the ones that she has in her care for. Surely these aren't just recorded just for her use.
Did you tell us that you could see somebody else in those in the photograph?
Oh, I don't remember.
Not that he could see somebody else, just that he
I
recognizes.
know the dwarf.
He
man
just
in
specifically
the-
knows
in
the
thing.
figure,
Gotcha.
which he
Well.
did not mention out loud. No.
Okay.
Oh.
In my time on topside, there was a handful of times that we had to do certain exorcisms of specters and ghosts, and from time to time, they would either be one of two variety: ghosts that are fully thinking, free thought, free moving, just trapped here. And then there was other times that we would deal with some specters that would just have to live over a certain point in time, over and over and over, like they were stuck. Now, this very well could just be his residence stuck in there, but I do know that there are some ways that you could trap a ghost. And possibility of his very soul being trapped in that box is also a possibility.
I think something that may be helpful here would be to, whatever you did that made this voice sound out, it may be worth doing that again. And if it is a different set of words, then we know that's substantial. If it repeats the same thing, then we know it's a loop.
Sure, I mean, we can spend much more time listening. Oh.
Problem
We
is,
think-
sorry. If this is the soul of this Morgan Lux fellow, that means that we don't have what we went in for.
Yeah.
But still, we need to use this as leverage. We need to know what value we have in our hands, especially if we're supposed to go use this to barter.
Feels wrong.
Barry,
Yeah.
you understood that resonance a lot better than I did. Does it seem to you like one person can only have one echo tag? Or can a
She
person have more
has-
than one tag?
She has so many tags. I
No,
don't know if...
Didn't Chime reference Damon having multiple resonances? Am I misremembering that?
She
Well-
did.
That his was...
There was a dissonance, almost
there
as
was
if there were
multiple.
two playing at the same time.
Not that one person can be in possession of multiple tags, but if your resonance is a specific thing, would it be the same if you were to put it on two tags, or can you only have your resonance ever put into one? Why was it two tags?
As if it was modified.
Maybe. But if I'm positing that a soul has one resonance, for most cases, it would have one echo tag. Either this means that someone out there who is capable of making these echo tags wanted one person's tag twice, or these are two people's tags.
I had the idea that it was two people. I could be
Interesting.
misremembering.
No, I don't think we know necessarily. I'm simply proposing some questions.
Do we have two tags?
We don't have the tags. We're trying to get the tags back
Okay.
from
Oh, from-
Tannenbaum. The tags belong...
He requested two tags.
Correct. Yeah, the whole lead is that these tags are required for us to be able to find out who has the painting.
Morgan Lux wasn't a glass jaw by any chance, was he? That
No.
would clear up a lot of things for us.
No. I do not believe either of these tags belong to Morgan Lux, but this means to me that Morgan Lux might have a tag out there.
And what did the glass jaws have to do with it again?
They're the ones that robbed the train before we robbed the
Yeah.
train.
They're the ones that have the painting, supposedly.
Yeah, so
But-
we're getting the residents.
We had also gotten the tags of the glass jaws.
We got the
Or we're
business
trying
card.
Their business
We got
card,
their
their calling
business
card.
card.
Okay.
I don't know
Yeah,
if
we're
this...
trying to find their tags so that way we could track where they are.
Correct,
That's
because
what we're
Chime
trying to
can
get
let
back.
us, know.
We're saying the word resonance a lot here.
Uh-huh.
It is written inside this locket.
Oh.
Hmm.
Like engraved or like
if,
scratched?
what happens if you put the locket on the box?
There's
There's
the locket on
resonance
the
and
box.
resonance.
There's something amiss with this locket, so I'm not too keen
Oh
on
yeah, no, my magical senses did pick up 3 very suspicious forms of magic guarding that.
What kinds?
bad kinds.
It was abjuration,
wards.
enchantment, and necromancy.
Well, wait,
right?
we swung the box around in a circle and it started to make more of a noise. What if we swing the locket?
Listen, I'm not opposed to attempting things. I would simply suggest that if we were going to do this, we minimize the potential damage and don't do it here in the motherfucking circle, but instead, one ideally healthy individual step again into the tunnel. If we have anybody who is open to that request.
Can any of us hear it like Chime can? Or like Barry can?
Well,
Well,
Barry
that
definitely
one.
hears it the best, but we all heard the voice from the box.
After it spun, yes, indicating that there was an amount of resonance in it, but spinning it caused the box to activate that you could all hear it.
Absolutely. It seems like she's probably the best one to be able to do it.
Although I am quite concerned, like how big, how loud, is it going beyond these walls that people could hear this?
No way to tell.
Would I know from my time working in this workshop how sound travels through it?
Yeah. I would say that the sound that you guys heard was mostly just because it was echoing in the tunnel. There's ash everywhere. It's incredibly dampening in the space that you are in. It's just because you're in an empty circular tunnel that the sound reverberated out into where you could all hear it.
Like, was it loud or was it just kind of like drifting out of the tunnel?
Loud enough that like it was that it interrupted your speaking. You heard it coming out of the tunnel.
I mean, if Barry feels confident spinning it in there, then go right ahead. But if you have your reservations, I volunteer to go.
I worry still about the magic on this thing.
And are we trying to keep a little quiet down here?
Sure.
Are you guys being still followed, or I still even get my little Aster back, my little robot. You got that on you?
You do.
Okay. Yes. I thought it exploded for some reason.
No.
Yeah.
Just the sign
There you
was
go.
holding.
Gotcha.
Oh, there's my little guy.
Best viewers.
Ooh,
Famous.
I mean, I agree. I think we should try and be as cautious as possible, but we're also losing daylight, and
this thing also has some kind of dried seed in it. It's not one of those coin things that Chime gave you.
I mean, I think it's also fairly dampened enough down here that even if it were to make a noise, I don't think it would draw too much attention, but that's just me.
Noise doesn't
Well-
travel too far out of here in my experience.
Yeah, it
How
looks
long
like
is
looks
this
like a dead
tunnel?
neighborhood.
It was
so.
quite long.
It was
tunnel,
long before
right?
you guys
Yeah.
got to the other end, yeah.
Okay, well, I can give it another twirl.
Yeah, worst case, somebody shows up, we burn it down again.
I mean, does anyone want to sit besides me? And
I'll come with you.
all right, I'll go in the tunnel. I'll do the thing and set it all up.
You're spinning the locket or the box again?
The box?
Sure.
Or are we spinning
the
the
locket. It
locket?
was-
But I'm not gonna swing it around like ferociously.
Sure.
I'm gonna like
Like a
maybe
lasso.
Just like a
twirl it around like that.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, you spin the locket on its chain and let it spin, and you don't hear anything.
Come on, Barry, give it a whip.
I don't know. Like
gonna
we
let
said,
anything
we
happen
should. There's a lot of magic on this, and I don't know. I don't want to mess with anything like that.
I mean, I'll happily
She's a
take it
doctor. You're gonna be fine.
I'll happily take it off your hands if you feel uncomfortable.
All right, give it a whirl. I'll back up. I'll scooch.
3 dragons appear. Why are you going?
You spin the locket, chain holds. You just hear the of you whipping a locket in a circle.
Well, I guess that answers that question. See, nothing to worry about.
Well, it also didn't get much done. To be honest.
It just means we haven't cracked the code. We haven't figured out its key yet. Figure it
Well,
out.
I'm gonna give the cube another twirl.
Have at it.
Even if this, with it being a soul, we should know if it's a soul or not before we do anything with it.
Sure.
I'll be quite gentle with it this time. More of a twirl.
Yeah, you do the same thing. You blow the air under it and spin it again, and the same whispers, rustling of leaves, scraping of nails, and the same message of Morgan Lux's voice rings out of the cube. Same as
And now
before.
everyone heard it too again.
Yes, you all don't hear the resonance of the rustling of leaves and the nails and everything else. You
We
just
just
hear
hear
the voice ring out. You also hear that stuff. You hear
Okay.
the background things.
Yeah.
Oh, it's still
It just nothing else comes to me. It's the same
Same.
vibe. All right.
Just a
Yeah. Well, see, at least we don't got a soul in this box. And then I flick it in the air and catch it, put it in my pocket.
Not that I'm trying to open it. I am not. Is there an obvious clasp on the locket? No. It
on
looks
the
like-
locket? Yeah, on the locket. Yes.
I've already
Yeah.
opened it.
Oh, okay. We knew
Yeah.
there was a seed in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where it says resonance carved inside the locket.
Yeah,
with
it
the
is
dried
scratched
seed.
in under the dried pressed seed.
How big is the locket?
That big.
And the box is significantly about the same size.
Yeah, the box is like
Box size. Like a
Rubik's
wedding.
Cube.
So I can't put it in.
slightly bigger
okay.
than a ring box.
Okay.
No.
Like one of those twisty boxes.
Yeah, yeah, and the box cannot go in the.
Like
in
about
the,
this big.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. If it was more square, yeah.
Oh, if the box.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
a, like a
yeah.
Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, like a Rubik's Cube. Yep,
Okay.
it's like a Rubik's Cube size.
I thought you meant if that was more.
Yeah, but the locket has a pressed dried seed in it with the word resonance scratched into the locket under it.
Do I recognize what kind of seed it is?
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
I'll scooch on out. This dust. I can't wait to get out of here.
All right. So, what we know for certain is that the gentleman from the house is corrupt, and we're hopefully gonna try and blackmail him into giving us the.
Are we extorting him or are we gonna kill him?
Why not both? Get what we want, and then also take care of the trash.
Works for me.
I don't typically like to do dirty deeds like that, but I mean,
Well, you know, like I always say, feed those need feeding, kill those need killing. He's a bad man.
so we're gonna draw him out. I mean, we've already established a meeting point.
Yep. And a meeting time, which is
In public.
I'm not wearing a watch.
I'm also not wearing a watch.
You don't have one built into that thing?
No.
Mark 2, what time is it?
Why?
The time is.
Why would I know?
The weather is the 72 and
Hey,
sunny.
Mark II.
Dial-up
He goes,
sounds.
functional.
Yes.
I think I
Yes.
might actually know what time. Do I know what time it is? I think I have. Hold on.
Did we also decide if we're sending a type of message to?
I wrote a message in the sky.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, Dick,
Skype
bring
link.
me my tags.
Yeah.
Yep.
That
Hey,
was
dick. So then what's the plan once we get there?
Are we all going in?
To my understanding, you are familiar with the people of the circus already?
Lovely folk. We go in, we make a straight trade with Mr. Tannenbaum. His documentation in exchange for our silence, and the 2 echo tags return to him.
And if he provides the tags, are we letting him go?
Absolutely.
You gonna let a man like that just walk around?
Absolutely. He'll get a bullet in his head someday. I hope to be the one to do it.
Well, you're given the opportunity right now, my friend.
You plan to kill this man inside the circus?
You have friends there, don't you?
I did not say that every inhabitant of the circus, nor the tavern, nor the individuals who are enjoying a drink or a drug. That is a lot of people to keep quiet.
Well, then maybe he might enjoy a drink and a drug, and then we'll take care of it.
I do
later
not think a
somewhere
man
else.
like him is going to walk in and just start drinking and doing drugs in the matter of a transaction. This man is not a fucking fool.
Seems awfully rude to have a meeting with someone and not share a drink with them.
Damon, if you intend to do that, I wish you the best of motherfucking luck, and then I am not entertaining this idea.
We'll see what we can get from him. Whether it's information, the tags. Perhaps he'll have a loose tongue once we got him cornered.
We also know that this man realistically is probably going to show up with individuals of his own as guards.
Absolutely.
Proposing that we simply murder this man inside of this establishment, I think, is going to lead us to our death.
That's why we don't do it inside the establishment, is what I'm saying.
Where, Damon? Where and how do we kill this man in your eyes?
I'm gonna pull out of my pocket this little vial of paralytic poison.
You slip it in his draught,
Yeah.
and then what?
Then we carry him out the front door.
But if
I
his
think his
Are his,
bodyguard.
are his guards going to permit us to do this?
Probably not.
Then what? We are entering a shootout inside of this establishment?
No. I wouldn't put the patrons or anybody like that at risk.
why don't we get the tags, get the painting, get this sorted, add him to our list. Preferably higher on the list, that if we happen to come across, he'll be the first one with one between the eyes.
We should make as little noise as possible.
Is it not more
When and
beneficial?
where?
We should make as little noise as possible doing this. Like, as in, don't kill him.
Yes, I didn't know that Mark II would speak in such a manner. I thought he was far more literal.
I literally thought you were like, we should be quiet.
Quiet, yes, absolutely.
I
Like,
agree, though. As little attention to us as possible.
Is it not more beneficial to have someone like this under our thumb?
I do
And
not
alive.
think, even with having the contracts in his name, that he is even under our thumb at this moment.
You saw his hands, too. He's taken black mark jobs and has failed them with no reference to try and hide that. So he is dangerous and unreliable, and I don't think having him under our thumb is necessarily a good thing. But
I also don't think 6 folks with guns are capable of holding a man who is clearly well established within, at the very least, either one growing syndicate or more, is easy enough for us to simply have.
Take his cane.
I think that's easier said than done.
I think we should not
Inconvenience.
even consider trying to kill this man.
Like
Nah,
I said, he's
take his
gonna,
cane. Don't kill him. Take his cane.
if the opportunity presents itself where we
Yeah.
can, maybe. But
Yeah, we're
he
gonna
is
take his
still.
cane.
Well,
Yeah.
well, Damon, Damon.
It's gonna be awfully hard to do magic without your fucking cane. You
It's also going to be
dickhead.
awfully hard to get the things that we need without hands, and I don't.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What? What were you saying?
I want to make sure that we're going to do this cleanly.
Absolutely.
We need to all walk out of here alive.
Oh, 100%.
So little ruckus.
Little ruckus.
Who all needs
like
to
a tiny
walk
bit.
in?
No ruckus. Yeah, who's all going in with this now?
Well, he's seen every one of you.
Sure.
He wanted to meet with all of you.
You're turning us in, though, so why do you have to show up?
Well,
I think he might ask more questions if Damon's not there, considering he was as forward-facing as.
Your job was to send the person who hired you, wasn't it?
mm-hmm. And Ulysses volunteered to be the one to take that role.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, how many of us need to be seen in this establishment?
He saw all 6 of us, he said.
Yeah.
How
He
many of us
asked.
need to be seen meeting with him today?
At least
Did he
one.
not say he asked
wants
for
all
all
of
of us
us.
to attend?
He wants all of us.
If we don't all attend, he's going to leave.
Very well.
Give the man what he wants. Let him think that he has the upper hand and let him hang himself. And maybe I won't kill him.
So just so we're all on the same page. The picture? The letters?
Everything.
Okay.
He gets it all.
Okay.
And we don't want any copies of those deeds.
I don't think it'll do us any good.
I hesitate to put all of us under the scrutiny of questioning. For if he catches us in a lie, even but one of us, it damages the safety of the deal in its entirety. I propose that we have what we have and do our finest to commit it to memory, and do what we can to understand this man's intentions.
Are there any locations on them?
There's a lot of them.
Like we have coordinates or anything like that?
Not
Directions.
coordinates, no. Some directions, especially when it comes to the plot of land, yes.
Can I know I can speak into people's minds. Can I project images into people's minds?
We permitted that in Oshwamp. That's up to you.
Yeah.
It's outside the traditional, but again, totally your call.
Yeah, sure.
Into Genevieve's mind, I would show the picture of the picture. In case we need a forger to provide anything, we have our ways. I can't draw
picture
it.
of what?
The picture of him with the shovels.
Oh, I copied that one down
Oh,
already.
okay.
Oh, okay.
The only thing I haven't copied down is those,
The contracts.
the contract. Well, all but I copied the one that I found because I broke the seal on it and it dripped, so I made a new one and resealed that one.
Did you look at the other contracts?
I don't know.
I said we threw
Oh.
literally everything on the floor. So
Then-
everybody has access to everything. That was why I put it in the Discord, because I was
Alright.
like, we're going to have the full, like, everybody can look at everything this way instead of having to pass around the one copy of papers
Yep.
to 6 people.
If that's the case, then Genevieve would look through the through the contracts. What are they?
Fey Frontier notes.
Let your notes. Yeah, she'd be perusing through them.
You said it's year 150, yeah? We. Okay.
150 after fall.
Then what is 149 AR? After RUSTFall specifically?
Yeah, I must have typoed that.
That,
Yeah.
After
It should be
reclamation.
the good old age of reclamation, huh, Don?
Yeah.
The timelines are weaving together quite nice.
Well,
Yeah, lots of folks caught up in this matter. Lots of places caught up in this matter.
you recognize any of those names?
I might.
I know I do.
Mark II is dying in the restroom.
It is quite ashy in this basement.
It indeed is, unfortunately, very ashy. Yeah, I recognize a name or two. Some of them are involved in things I might not have otherwise expected.
Who piqued your interest that this shouldn't be there?
Ooh, tea.
One, Wesley Bernard is on this contract.
I don't believe I'm familiar with that name.
I don't know what he's been up to, but that would be my older brother.
Interesting. Wait, your last name's Bernard? Hold on.
Good old the Rook Bernard.
Bernie.
You don't know Jenny Nard?
Didn't know your brother made it down Claire Lux way.
It's not all that surprising, but I don't know what my father had him getting into. It was never anything good.
No. No, unfortunately not. When was the last time you saw him?
God, it's been years now. I
That
I
is
haven't-
an amount of time.
Yeah, I haven't seen. Last I saw him was when I left, which was a number of years ago.
10, 15, maybe more.
That tends to be how that goes.
Last time I saw him was the last time I seen him.
Yeah.
You ain't seen him since you left home?
Nope.
Depends on-
Right. Cleared that up right quick.
Haven't seen any of them.
Did he,
Ain't heard from him?
No, I mean I was running from them. How they had no way to contact me. I had no interest in contacting them.
did he have a penchant for getting himself into some shit?
He had a penchant for doing whatever my father asked of him.
Did your father have a penchant for getting into some shit?
I don't remember. It's been so long since I've seen my
So long
father.
since I've seen my father.
I say it's been since the
Same.
last time I saw him.
How many years has it been? It was.
Two.
He's on
I don't know how long
Yeah, I don't
after
know.
I left that she left. I've been out 15 to 16 years.
So I think we're saying maybe around
subtract
10.
a number of that.
Yeah, probably 10.
About 10
There
years.
you go.
Yeah, that's. Oh God, how would you describe my father?
Fatherly.
No, certainly.
I don't know. I never met him. That's what I'm asking you.
He.
Quite a bastard.
That's a good way to put it.
You have the prior knowledge of Genevieve's father?
I do.
Professional capacity or?
No, I ain't fucked her dad, Mark II. Good lord.
Somebody had to.
Well, I
That would have been my
I'll
mother,
write
yeah.
that in my notes of things to do, I suppose.
Please don't.
Wait a minute. You,
Please don't. Please don't. How many times is this gonna happen to me, Don?
I will
Going to
call
fuck
him
your
baby.
father.
I will
Understand,
call him
kids.
baby. You're right.
Happy
so
fine.
wait a minute. Ulysses is Genevieve's mother?
Correct. Laid her like an egg.
No, I knew her family when I was but a little boy. We grew up near each other. Similar schools.
How long ago?
Interesting.
Been about
A
years.
number of years ago.
Last time I seen the Bernard family, at least 15 going on 20 years, socialite. Mostly attended big dinners, gatherings, things of that nature.
Is that accurate?
No, he's lying.
Accurate.
Well, I mean,
You are the one who trusts me implicitly before, moments ago.
we have both sides of every story
I'm sorry,
right
Mark,
here.
too. That was a little mean. No, it's very accurate.
I see your wavering trust in me, Mark II, and it brings a tear to my eye.
Trust but validate.
Like parking?
Is that Mark II or DJ?
Trust but verify.
Free
Understood.
marking.
Let's just say you don't want to get tangled up in anything that the Bernards are doing.
No, but they do not really have much respect for the effects that their transactions have.
Would you care to expand upon that at all, Ulysses?
Ain't my business, Mark II.
You care to expand upon that at all, Genevieve?
There are people out there who will make decisions that will benefit them, regardless of who they hurt.
Ah,
But we never wrote it down.
Even if it's a loved one.
That's what I thought.
wow. That is.
He's discovering human nature.
He's learning emotion.
That is that's some fucked up shit. That's terrible. Is that how you came to be estranged from them? Are you estranged from them? Are you willingly separate?
They're coming over in a couple minutes.
Are you trying to get back? What?
No, I'm not
Back
a
at
lost.
them or
I'm not
back
a
to
lost
them?
child.
I didn't think so.
I very purposely left.
Where are your parents?
Well, I wasn't expecting to be spilling my whole backstory here.
You're not obligated to.
I just found out y'all previously acquainted and got interested. You see, I wasn't, as you know, I wasn't previously acquainted with anybody, so it's neat to see people that knew each other before I met them.
I mean, I knew Andy when we met.
That's true.
I knew Barry when we met.
Well, yeah.
Mark, technically,
I knew
you.
Mark too
Yeah,
when I
we
met you.
Well, you only knew me after you met me.
You
I
were wise
guess
on
no
your
one
years, you know
mentioned
that?
My
you
boy's got a point
beforehand,
there.
but I wasn't gonna tell you that. I thought
there-
that was kind of rude.
I didn't know you.
There
till
was a
after I
point
met you.
where Yule and I did not know each other, and then we met, and then we did know each other after that.
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
And as he
You
was
mean
saying,
you weren't
And then-
born knowing each other?
We were not.
and as you were saying, similar schools.
Yeah, we went to an academy together.
Technical? Vocational?
Vocational, actually. Magical
Hairdressing
time.
school.
Oh,
Ones that, as for the Bernard family, were equipped to assist the wealthier families with trying to assist their prodigious young entering into a political life.
so they were fixers for a.
To a degree, I mean, I'm not saying necessarily that the school itself was. I mean that the individuals that sent their children there were looking to do so.
We were provided the best of the best education that was available through tutors, through schooling, to prepare me and my siblings to.
Trust fund kid. Got it.
I was
all
going to say, I
kids
was
who go to an
educated in the
academy, yeah.
shed.
I would just say benefit the goings on of the family. We were tools.
You were seen as successors,
Yeah.
Yes.
and you were molded as such from a young age.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all and I
Probably
ain't too different.
much to your detriment, given what I've heard.
One could say the same thing about yourself, my friend.
I was built to fight things.
Correct.
Were you not built
To perform a task.
to
for your-
perform a task as a tool?
Life is a series of
And you are?
just doing my job.
A tool.
Genuinely, that might be the origin for this character.
Yep.
Is that statement.
Yup.
That didn't click until just now, but yeah, that's probably where this came from.
You being a two. You being a two.
Well, yeah, there was
Would there
Mark.
have been a one?
There was Mark, yeah.
Give it a mark.
So you
What happened to Mark?
you
I think I asked that
you
the first time we met.
successed Mark.
Right, I successed Mark.
So you were a tool that then became a successor.
Well, no, in that, from my understanding, I never met Mark. As far as I know, Mark's not around. My understanding is I was built upon the remains of Mark.
Upon or with?
Porque
Yes.
no las
On top
dos.
of.
The deadpan stare with the pause and then a yes was so good. Just yes.
Unclear?
I mean, there's new parts. It's not all Mark, or I'd be Mark. There's new parts, which makes me Mark too.
What parts
Two
are
new
new?
pods.
That is exactly two new. No, no there's a,
New for
and
me.
to the best of my knowledge, I don't know that Mark had this level of cognition.
Oh,
Interesting.
Artie didn't tell me much about Mark.
Artie?
Yeah,
That your maker?
yeah, Artie's my mate.
Surely you would have known about Audie. He would have told us when we were hanging out before.
Ah, yes, Artie. I'm glad you passed my test. You are doing well.
Did Andy get replaced by a changeling?
Yes, it is I, Andy too. So we gonna go get this guy, or
Well,
I'm ready to hopefully see this through to its end, because I'm a little nervous.
Why?
I mean, only that my entire life is rested upon this.
well,
And all this rehashing of old bringing ups is really bringing me down.
then why are they called bringing ups?
The raising of a child.
Upbringings, I think is the word.
I think that's the word I was looking for. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Bringing ups.
Common is my second language, so I'm gonna need you to bear with me.
Ulysses, you know this building that we are going to, the Grinning House.
Yeah, fair bit.
You know the ins and outs, front door, back door.
Quite familiar with the back door.
I have also been there.
The back
You're
door?
familiar with the back door.
No. I'm familiar with the cannon. I can show you the cannon.
So you don't know where the back door is.
That
Of
might
the cannon?
that might be of some use
Does
to
the
me
cannon have a door?
later. But should things get hairy, we have a way out that's not the front door, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, cannon.
Not that we would start anything if they
Would
started
I
anything.
presume, based on the layout of the circus that was behind the building, that there would be access out, or was that contained?
You'd have to like hop a fence. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think somebody said that they work the back door sometimes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but the back door was the establishment. The circus itself was outside. If we go out back door, I wasn't sure if the circus was like a self-contained area within like either the mesa or anything like that.
Yeah, it's contained with like fences and
Fencing,
things. But
okay.
You could
Oh,
get
I
out.
saw it as like an indoor thing.
No.
No,
Like,
the circus is
yeah.
outdoor. It's
Outside.
behind the greenhouse.
Yeah, I saw it as like a Cirque du Soleil type deal
No,
inside.
Like
it's,
under a
a,
big
it's a
tent?
pass
Yeah.
through.
Big
It's a big
top.
But I mean, it's underground, so it is contained anyway.
Alright. Works for me.
Yeah, if things go unfortunately awry, I trust that we can make a escape.
Absolutely.
Are we fleeing back here when all is said and done?
No.
There should be no fleeing. Ideally.
Should just be casually walking back
Ideally, yes.
And if these
into
documents
our home, not here.
Yeah, if these documents carry the weight that Ulysses says they do, he ain't gonna want to watch us for very long.
No, and not when he knows I know Roland Bumbledore.
Very well. Well,
And if you don't feel confident being able to lie to somebody, don't answer.
I have no intention to.
Mark two, jot this down, a little note for you. Rule number 47. If you find lying to be
We
hard,
are on 45.
well, 45?
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, rule 45. If you feel uncomfortable in lying, tell the truth. Just tell the wrong truth. You understand? Because then you're not lying.
Just tell me.
So tell the right story, but incorrectly.
No.
Mark two, the truth of the matter is that we are there to make a deal and nothing more.
It is a lie of omission, is what it's called.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm not there to lie. I'm not trying to lie.
Exactly.
How about this, Mach 2? Instead of lying,
I
just
didn't
crack them a
propose
joke.
lying.
Mark 2, I need you to stop with the line. I thought they trained you better
He
than
got
that.
too good at it, honestly.
Check his furnace, because that boy gaslit. I propose that after we meet here with Mr. Tenenbaum, secure those tags, we go right back to Chime.
Let's get this
Agreed.
moving, yeah. We got a bit of a deadline going.
Also, I told you all my history.
Yeah.
That is in confidence.
Thank you for sharing.
It's very kind of you.
They can't know I'm here.
Who? Exactly.
The Bernard family.
What Bernard family? I don't know. what
So
you're
you
talking
are
they-
estranged.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Mark II solves his first mystery.
of. And we're
thing
going back
that
to the
she
circus to
said.
celebrate.
I love these little pop-up books of him as a detective.
Question real quick for you, Don.
Yes, sir.
Why?
Judging by Genevieve's looks,
Currently covered in soot.
can I determine what kind of tiefling she is? What demonic lineage
Evil.
my friend over here descends from?
The tasty kind.
Arisen from?
Huh?
Sense arisen from?
You mean her bringing ups?
Or yeah,
Or
or bringing
bringing
up.
ups. Listen.
What tab do I have that written in?
It's under the ghost quarter. It's general tiefling types and lore.
Barry is going
Right
to be in
before
the tunnel
map of
listening
Beacon's End
to
description.
her own residence for a moment.
She's gonna do what with resonance? I'm sorry.
Just try to listen to her own in
To
the
your
tunnel.
own. Okay. Yeah. 1 second.
Because I've been meaning to do that.
Yeah.
I have it here if you
Especially
want
before
this.
we see Chime.
kind of man was Artie?
Bear with me one moment. Let me refresh my memory. But if I recall correctly, and I believe I do, he was
I
an
just hear
elf.
the dial-up sounds going on.
Accurate, yes, correct.
Yeah, I love that you really. I don't know if that's what you were actually asking, but like, what was he like? He was an elf. Yeah.
Was that what you were asking? It's like, you were asking what I answered, right? That is the interpretation you were asking, or were you asking like how he was?
Perhaps in regards to the way he treated you, his demeanor.
Great, yeah.
What kind of man was
so
Artie?
Elf.
he built me. He went, cool, you're working, and then he entered me into illegal underground fighting ring.
God, he finished that sentence.
He made me,
I'm
and
a
then
Bill
he
Mark II to be a sex
All right,
robot.
cool. And then he entered me.
Good lord.
Did not work out. He is a fighting robot now.
They courted. Okay.
But yeah, he was fine. He forced me to fight on his behalf for money.
What did he do with the money?
That's a good question.
Hate it.
Did he own other businesses? Was he a gambling man?
He was a farmer, see, and then
He was a farmer,
yeah, he was a farmer,
and he built you.
Yep. He had other bots meant to do things like splitting wood and such. And farm dried up, no money left to be made growing crop, so he started building robots that could fight. He saw a robot with an axe. I guess figured not much different between chopping wood and chopping heads. So
Where was your maker from?
Audie? Great question.
Where was this farm?
Yeah, this dried up farm.
Suddenly more relevant than expected. Bear with me a minute.
She expected to know things about myself.
I entered expecting to be completely irrelevant.
It was outskirts of
Nowhere.
Where the husband used his bed.
You have to give me my memory's not great.
Mark II, the cowardly doll.
TM.
Don, can you remind me where?
I can look in the notes that I wrote.
That's what I'm doing. I can't.
Let me see.
I'm looking in the doc. Where am I from?
That's what I had thought.
Because I feel like I remember, but I'm not sure I'm correct.
I have to look at the map. Hold on.
Welcome to the John Midshow podcast, where everyone checks their backstories for information to remember who we are. Why we
You'd
are.
have been from Amberfield.
Nothing.
That is the most proximate farm town to Las
If only I
Vegas.
could do that in real life.
I thought it was the outskirts of Las Vegas. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So outskirts of Las Vegas, near Amber Fields.
Yeah, Amber Fields,
Yep.
and those fields dried up. Well, Artie's farm dried up.
Right.
You know what Artie was growing?
Mark II doesn't know that, does he? Nope. No. See, I came, again, I'm the second Mark, so he had presumably been doing this for some time before he built me. I don't know what he did after, but that's, I guess that's his problem now.
Jen, how you feel about farms drying up?
Not too great.
How long ago you say you find Mark II?
A couple of years ago.
I think it was sooner than that. It was only 6 months or something.
No, it was about a year.
We
About a
started
year.
investigating.
It was about a year ago.
You know how long you were fighting?
Oh,
2.
2?
Would have been about a year.
About a year.
That's right, because you're 2 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
You've told me before, but I can't remember. Is Artie still with us?
You mean alive?
Yeah.
Last I saw him, yeah.
When was the last time you saw him?
Right before I joined up with y'all. Like the day before.
Did you ever say goodbye?
Well,
Sneak him out.
yeah, I kind of escaped.
Well, I mean, meant like, did you hint at there or anything? Or...
Oh no, he was unaware that I was cognizant at all.
Really?
Yeah, Artie thought I was a standard fighting bot without any more awareness than the wood chopping bot. Really.
Wow.
Yeah, I kept it hidden so that way I could, and I had met others, like other robots while fighting that I could tell didn't have the same level of cognition. So I kept it quiet.
Yeah.
Better people look at me and see just another robot than see, well, a man.
Do you still feel like that?
Feel like it's better for people to see me as just a robot rather than a man? Sometimes. Depends. For example, when we're meeting with Mr. Tannenbaum, best he thinks that I'm just a malfunctioning robot. Now, if things were different and I felt as though being normally cognizant would be beneficial, I'd do that instead.
So you're more keen on lying than you let on.
Almost entirely, yes. That is, I
One might
exist
say
in
it's the cornerstone of who he is as a
Correct.
person.
I almost exist in a habitual state of untruth.
No, that's a goddamn lie.
The double negative, huh?
So,
Well then.
So no, I didn't really say goodbye. I more fled.
Would you ever want to say anything to him?
No, probably not. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm thankful that I was able to get away, but it doesn't matter how aware you are. Fighting's fighting. Pain's pain. If I weren't this aware, he would have made me do what I did. I just wouldn't have known I was doing it. And after doing it to make him money for so long, I figured it was time to start doing it for myself.
Fair enough.
You said Amberfield?
Yeah. Yeah, roundabouts.
With having recently traveled through that area, what's Amberfield like now? Like just as an area?
You wouldn't have been in Amberfield. That's like way off to the coast.
Oh, it's towards the coast. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, that was other way.
I was curious if we had traveled through it to get to Las Vegas.
No, it's past it the other direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's her resonance testing going?
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have everybody leave for a moment.
Oh.
Other than Savannah.
Everyone can go behind me. I'm going to be in there.
I'll stop doodling.
I just wanted to wait till everybody concluded the conversation.
It's me and you now. I've been waiting.
I think we're alone now.
Yeah, no boot guy.
That's me.
Oh, I don't need to close that.
Set the ambiance here a little bit.
Ooh.
So you step by yourself. You're still in this tunnel. Andy has left after swinging the locket and spinning the cube, and you stay behind so that way you can have a private moment to yourself to try to focus, as Chime said, in the silence away from the rest of your friends. You hear the brief echo of their conversation kind of like bouncing off the interior of the tunnel walls, and you step a little further and center yourself and kind of close that out until it's just Charlie Brown mumbling in the background. And you sit on the ground. What would Barry do to try to focus herself? Would you pull out any objects? Would you hold anything? What would Barry do to kind of center herself in this moment?
I feel like definitely like loosen her jacket a little, like do like a little stretch just to relax, get all this tension of everyone being like ah, ba, 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 ba.
Yeah.
And just trying to like basically she's doing what she thinks she should do, is just basically meditate.
Sure.
No ritualistic
Yeah.
things. Maybe just twiddling her thumbs in her lap, crisscross.
Sure.
Or maybe the end of her possum tail, actually.
Yeah. As you sit crisscrossed, fiddle the end of your possum tail kind of back and forth as you stretch and try to focus yourself. Make a perception check for me.
That's all I ever had. Oh, wonderful. A 3 plus. Honestly, perception's the longer list, right?
Yes, correct.
So a 6.
Okay. Roll another one for me.
9.
Roll another one.
4.
And one more.
5.
Okay.
These dice are gross.
Try a different die.
Okay.
What do you got?
13.
Okay. None of these numbers are indicators of failure. You're sitting in here for a while they're conversing. This is just an indicator for me of time. It's not that Barry doesn't hear something or does. You sit for a while, and you have difficulty for a couple minutes kind of drowning out the sound of your friends, and even just the subtle like breeze rushing through the tunnel of like something settling and rattling off in the distance and setting an echo down the tunnel. Barry's not ever done this, of shut the sounds out of everything. You're somebody that listens to machinery and listens to things. You're very in tune to the surrounding noises of physical, actual objects. So it's difficult for Barry to kind of turn that off and purely, completely silence everything. And it takes you a while, and you try, spinning different positions and like leaning against the tunnel wall, and you like pull your hood up and try to cover your ears, and everything is just kind of rattling and bouncing around the tunnel. And you sit there for what feels like a while trying to get this out. And you finally turn your back to the end of the tunnel. You cross your legs, grab your tail, and just like fiddle with it in your hands. And you really sit in the silence and try to focus. And you kind of find yourself like twisting your head a little bit like Chime was doing. And you hear what feels to you like your own resonance. Barry was told about the day she was born, the meteor shower, sky lit up with red and blue, the stars celebrating just for Barry. You can almost see in your mind the way Chime described seeing colors and waves of things as resonance kind of spins around a person, that you can never silence your own resonance, that even after you die, it echoes for a little bit and it defines who you are. It's everything that you are as a person, and everything that you will go through is written in your resonance. You focus on this twinkling, what sounds like stars falling. And in the darkness of having closed your eyes, you feel like you can almost reach out and touch above you the sky with these red and blue stars floating above. And you instinctively reach your hand up and just kind of reach towards the stars. And as you swipe your hand a little bit at it, the stars begin to tumble forward, plummeting towards the earth, meteors falling from the sky, this shower of sparks of red and blue light cascading down from the sky towards the sand. And you feel the wind on your face as you find yourself now, as you kind of look around, the space around you is almost built out a little bit, where you can feel the whipping of sand against your cheeks, sitting in the center of the desert, in the middle of nowhere. Quite literally, the middle of nowhere. Night sky twinkling above, the stars falling, started by your own hand. You hear the sounds of this twinkling. You hear the rustling of a note back and forth like the whipping of sand. You hear the low rumble of the earth beneath Barry, vibrating deep beneath the earth. Something deep under her vibrating, shaking the ground. A low tone pulsing, rising and kind of snaking through the earth as these twinkling stars fall. You see in the distance a bright light flick on out of nowhere, like a star that's appeared in the sky. And you watch it start to spin. And then it starts to fall towards the earth, cascading through the sky down towards the sand where Barry sits. And you look up at it, and it is a ship plummeting right towards where you are. And it stops, floating right above you, as Barry floats slightly upwards into the sky, surrounded by small fragments of rock and dust, spinning in a circle almost like a galaxy, spinning around herself. And you reach up and touch the tip of the ship, and your eyes flick open. That's what Barry sees in her mind's eye as she centers herself and listens to her resonance.
Wow, beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Would you do anything else in this moment?
Well, as my eyes shut open, I think I would already be exhausted from trying to learn what all this resonance stuff is.
Yeah.
And having this, like, moment of clarity, I think, is, like, really important for her. I think she hasn't had a moment to herself ever.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, if ever, this is the reason why she's on this journey. I think it's literally just taking the biggest, deepest breath ever. And I think I would definitely... Barry would write in, like, a journal, like in her scratch pad, full of just random doodles and drawings of Rust stuff, and writing down, like, I'm finally finding myself.
Yeah.
There are answers, and I think that's exactly what she would write, and then start to join the others after a minute.
Yeah, you'd sit down and describe the scene as you saw it and try to even, like, trace the direction of the notes with the twinkling and, like, the low tones to try to remember, if you ever needed to go back to it, kind of what happened in your mind at the listening to your resonance at this point.
Yeah, definitely the tumbling underneath of me. I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Especially more so than the stars. I think that's more of the spiritual side, and then it's definitely there's signals of, like, where to go.
Yeah. You're a scrabbler.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, not all low numbers are failures. It's just how much
Yeah, I know.
time it takes for things.
I was just surprised. It was one after another on those days.
Yeah, that's just how it happens sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's just an indicator of how much the struggle is. Barry's exhausted after that.
Yeah. I think it would make sense not to all be
Yeah,
happening at once.
right.
Find a second soul out there in the dark.
It's the sound of souls.
It's the sound of my soul. Ugh.
All right.
That's not the sound of my soul, but it is the sound my soul makes.
I don't remember what we were doing. I asked how her residence went, and then we left.
Yep, you were talking about Mark II and Artie.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'd asked about Marty, the kind of man. Oh, farmer. That's fine. Good enough. I have my speculations based off these very minimal details. I'm good.
Last time you saw him was the last time you saw him.
True. Exactly.
That's right.
He out there somewhere, maybe.
And Genevieve said to keep her secret.
Yep.
Correct.
We discovered Mark II is made of lies,
Yep.
Yeah.
Almost exclusive.
almost exclusively.
All right. And then I would scoot my boot out of the tunnel, and I'll just like calmly like brush all that dust and soot off of me. I'm hanging out behind y'all.
Yeah.
I'm very tired.
Yeah, you would all visually see that Barry looks tired.
Barry, all right there?
I think I am. I think we're all right.
All right.
I think the residents might be taking more out of you than you think.
Yeah, I'm gonna look around at the burnt hovel that we're in. If you say so.
I mean, a good breath of fresh air would be nice.
Well, let's get going.
Does this grinning house got food? I'm starving.
I don't necessarily know. Did I see people eating, or did I just see people drinking?
Would have been people eating.
Then yes, I know.
Probably food there.
There was indeed food.
Say, you
Yes,
were-
food.
Thank you.
I
Glad
could
someone
go for
noticed.
some grubbins.
Let's go get a snack and wait for this contract deal.
Boy, a snack.
You know, I always like to get a snack before extorting somebody.
You know, that's what my
wanna do
parents
it
used to
on
tell
an
me. You
empty
don't
stomach.
extort on an empty stomach.
Exactly. Wait, where'd you grow
Say
up?
cramps.
None of your goddamn business.
How many dads do I know in this party?
You don't know my dad.
You don't know my dad.
Andy knows her dad. And he's a great guy. She raised
It's
him.
fantasy. It's fantasy. That's why we play D&D.
We're allowed to have dreams.
We're allowed to have dads.
Most people kill their parents.
The first D&D
well,
actually stands for dads.
Yep.
Dads
my-
and Dungeons.
Dungeons and Dads.
Dead and dads.
That's a podcast.
It is Dungeons and Daddies is a podcast.
Yeah.
How about daddies and dungeons?
How about Daddies and Dragons?
That's a different kind of
That
cast.
feels different.
We are doing
Daddies in the
cosplay
chat?
again, so I mean,
What about dads and dads?
Happy Pride.
We get some dads in the chat. Also, Evan, thank you very much for the resub. It was a while ago, but we were
not the emo, just
deep-
actual fathers.
deep in the midst. Yeah.
Wait, we
Thank you
gotta
very much.
wait till Father's Day to shout them out.
True.
True.
Shout out
That's
to the
true.
daddies in the chat.
That's not what I said. It's what I should have said. Yeah, you guys are heading out to go to the grinding house?
Correct.
Carefully,
Yeah.
looking out for anyone
Spooky
watching
individuals.
us.
You know, if like a big telescope decides to start following us across the sky.
Thankfully, you guys are in the Narrows, so you're safe.
We underground.
He can't see down here.
Not out here.
I'm more worried about those ones who found this place last time.
No, they found it because somebody sent them here.
Needed to burn down a perfectly good studio.
Our house isn't
Peace,
too
CJ.
bad.
I had
It
this
is.
place furnished. I had a carpet.
We could get you a carpet.
I had so many paints.
We got a remnant.
I can buy you paint.
But
my canvases.
That I can't get you.
Don, did we ever settle
My
on
couch was
what day of the month / what month it is?
We settled on the month. We're in
It's Autumn Weave.
That's right.
Say that it is the 15th of Autumn Weave.
It was a
Alright.
Tuesday.
15th. Tuesday.
Does this calendar follow the same 365 day cycle as our
IRL one?
Well, look,
Good old
I'm
Earth
gonna
calendar.
Look up our wiki.
or perhaps if I made up a calendar and just put a little mark on it to mark off what day we're on, it would be
Shout out to feyfrontier.fandom.com/wiki.
/ months.
If I said it was Tuesday, then it is the 16th of Autumn Weave. Which is September.
Are there leap years?
Yeah.
Which-
it is the
which
same
month,
calendar for ease of tracking.
Makes sense. Runs parallel to the material, so.
I think I would have left out the leap years. I wouldn't know on fucking leap days. They're stupid. We don't need that. We've progressed beyond the need for leap days.
Mr. Calendar. Over
I'm
they
sorry if your birthday is on February 29th, but like, get a real birthday.
Every 4 years, my ass.
Mr. Farmer, do we have daylight savings time in this?
In my world, no.
No, there is none. Yeah.
Yes, we're in Arizona.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
real Fey Wild West.
yeah.
Truly.
That's why there's no.
This takes place in Arizona, confirmed.
That's why there's so much sand. Yeah, so you all head back out of the basement of the burned out remnants of Genevieve's Tavern, over through the Narrows to the familiar location to at least Ulysses and Mark II of the Grinning House.
Hell yeah.
If the
We're finally going to the circus.
if the Widow's Veil was on the way, or in the general area, I would have just popped in and been like, "Not right now.
Okay.
I don't need it right now. We're good."
Okay.
Because I just don't want to leave
Yeah.
her hanging.
Yeah.
We don't need
she'd have told you she'll hold it for you, but we'll expect payment. Yeah, so this large 2-story building is tucked behind a rusted iron gate. The points on each of the layers of this building, the lower portion is much larger and kind of, 3 layers, starts off large, cascades down slightly to a kind of stacked,
Like a wedding cake.
like
Like
a
a wedding
sand castle.
yeah, like a wedding cake or a wonderful
Yep.
temple of some sort.
A ziggurat.
A ziggurat.
If it
the
is
word.
varying
Yes.
widths,
It is varying widths.
it is a ziggurat.
It's a ziggurat.
Does that mean a wedding cake is shaped like a cigarette?
It is.
Circular one.
I wonder if that's, surely that's intentional.
I think it's
Stability.
physics. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it is
So yeah, it would be
intentional.
intentional.
It's
Yeah.
functional,
It is
guys.
Functional.
This is built out of wood, old pieces of metal, rust things, very similar to most of the other buildings in the Narrows. All of the points of each layer are lit by glowing neon pink oil lamps that cast a very eerie glow over the courtyard walk up to the door itself. You can hear laughter and moans of pleasure leaking out through the walls of the Grinning House as you approach.
Leaking out.
They got
I guess the food's really good, huh?
Somebody's eating.
Right.
I gotta work on the soundproofing.
I think that's meant to draw patrons in.
Do you think they got a buffet?
It is
A
all
what?
you can eat.
A
David.
buffet.
I think you're pronouncing that wrong.
Buffett?
No, that's not what he said.
Buffet.
All right, go. Is my friend at the front door once more?
Yes, he is.
Is this the
Is it flip, skip, rip?
the raccoon
Grip.
man?
Grip.
Grip's at the front door.
Grip is the front door.
No, sorry, you told Grip to be at the back,
Back door.
Yeah, Flip's at the front
Flips.
door.
I flipped it
You
around.
flipped it around.
Just like you're gonna do the flip.
God damn it.
As you approach the doors, these double doors, heavy doors, no windows, other than like a small slit on the top. As you approach, the slit opens. You see raccoon eyes peering out. Slit closes, doors open, and you are greeted with the inside of this grinning house alongside a very large, burly raccoon man, which Ulysses knows is Flip. He steps aside and just gestures all of you in,
Howdy, Flip.
tips his cap at Ulysses. Hello.
It's good to see you at the front door tonight.
That's what you asked for.
Yes, it is, Flip. Y'all real busy this evening?
Quite busy, yeah.
Anyone doing any performances so far? Any circus folk doing anything fun inside or out?
Outside, yeah. They're doing like a small show tonight.
Lovely.
Not the full spectacle.
Understood. You don't mind if I bring some additional patrons inside with me this time?
No, all are welcome in the Grin House.
Thank you, Flip.
He steps aside.
Does it look like there's any open area for us to be seated at?
Yeah, there is a large table, so let me describe the Grinning House. So the inside of the Grinning House is immediately inside the doors, about 20 feet. There is a large pit of sand where several people are laying in the warm sand, just kind of writhing. They appear to
Nude?
be on. Several are nude.
Yeah.
They appear to be on some very
Heated
enjoyable
sandbox.
substances as they are rolling in the sand.
I do.
Some just have a drink with them and are just leaned up against the corner. It's like a hot tub with sand.
Yep.
That sounds wonderful, actually.
Actually, yeah.
It's great. It's a conversation pit full of sand.
Sandbox.
Yeah. Immediately to the left and right of that are a set of gambling tables that cascades about 100 feet down to the left. To the right, there's about 50 feet of various tables scattered around, ample space between each of the tables for privacy. There is a rumbling and kind of twinkling in the background as lamps clank against each other and glasses go, around and are dropped and things of that nature. Where the gambling area cascades off to the left, there is a large railing with stairs that lead up to a second overlook level where you can see the, which I had previously described after the fact, the owner of the Grinning House, Lada,
Orc lady.
who is a half-orc woman, late 30s, scar on her cheek that's kind of like the Joker forming into a grin.
How did she get the scars?
Task.
Ice pops.
Arms crossed, leaning on the banister, and you can just see that she is just scanning the room. The balcony also has a small part where she can turn, and behind her there appears to be like doors and rooms and other hallways, but there is a spot where she can overlook and see the gambling section as well. So this is her vantage point to observe everything that goes on in the Grinning House. There are people everywhere. There are people gambling. There are people drinking. Various figures. There is a large open table in the kind of center of this large 50-foot slew of tables. You want me to send someone over?
Much appreciated, Flip. Thank you.
Flip,
Yes.
would you recommend anything off the menu to eat?
Just for food?
Yeah, I am famished.
I like the meat.
All right. Just the meat? What kind of meat?
Meat.
Nice.
Whatever they
Is
found.
it hot?
Yeah, it's hot.
Works for me. Thank you. Shall we then?
Taters, too. if they got them.
Spectacular taters here.
That's right.
That's right.
What about tots?
We don't eat children here.
That's good, Flip.
Yeah, children aren't allowed in.
Now I'm having the meats.
Yeah.
You're not a child, right?
No.
Small. Just gotta make sure it's my job. I'm
Small,
supposed to
but
ask at the door. You weren't even
mighty.
supposed to get in this far. I apologize.
Flip, I'm also small.
Yeah, but real small.
They're the same height.
We're the same height, Flip.
You already been in here before.
And
will
you got
fix my
you got like an air
posturitis.
about you.
I got an air about me.
Yeah.
and Flip,
I know
I
the
am
kids.
but 2 years old.
You gotta wait outside.
He's
But you
He don't age the same, Flip.
he's made of metal.
no,
1 year Mark II is 9 years of normal time.
That's right.
So he 18.
well, the parts are rusty too. So even though he might only be 2, the parts aren't 2. So I think you're okay.
His shoulder's 36. It's ancient.
Yeah,
About to fall off.
you're okay. You've
Great.
been in here before too.
I have.
You went out look at the surface.
Maybe I
That's right,
shouldn't have been
that's right.
bringing this up.
That's right.
Yeah.
You recall anything else about my last foray into maybe having to do with a cannon?
Circus has a cannon.
Circus does have a cannon. I shot the dwarf out of it last time
You
and
killed the
threw him
dwarf?
as far as I shot him.
All right, congratulations. That's cool.
Thanks, Flip.
I'll send over some meat.
So why they call you Flip?
Well, that's my name.
Sure. All right, that meat sounds great, buddy.
Yeah. Parents called me Flip.
Any brothers, sisters? Their names?
That's private information.
Flop.
We ain't friends yet. You only been here 2 times. It's like a punch card system, then we're friends.
How many do I need to be your friend?
3.
So if I just go out the door and come back in, then I'm your friend?
Nah, it ain't how it works. It's not one of those systems.
It's a new
again.
day.
It's a new day.
So if I wait long enough.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
Perhaps tomorrow, Mark II.
Well, it is pretty late now.
2
after,
punches?
after midnight.
Does it roll over at midnight?
No, because I'm here at night, so it's you gotta wait till like.
We
the
did this
next
last
morning.
time with the next day kind of shit.
Do you live here?
Mm-mm.
Well, that's a relief because then how would I know when to come back? Because if you never leave.
That's the mystery of the punch cards. You gotta take the risk. Gotta bring you back in. Come get more meat.
Well, hopefully on the meat, I'll find the names of your brothers and sisters.
That seems unlikely.
Probably, but
2 punches on the punch card means that I had seen your face, but you only got 1. You only been here once, so I don't know who you are.
What is happening?
I can't recognize you if I've only seen you once.
I'm just curious as to what the system is and how it works. That's all.
When you come back again, then I'll recognize your face.
So if
Good
I
with
was-
faces.
So I can't walk out the door and come back in.
I'm gonna show Flip a punch card, but to a completely other place. But it's like 3
Yeah.
stamps and it's ready
It's
for
frozen
redi-
Yosen.
That's what I was gonna say.
It's the dwarf ice cream place.
Yeah.
I
Frozen
mean,
Yosen.
what could you do for this?
I'll give you an extra punch card if you give me that punch card for the yogurt.
Another punch card?
No, if you give me that punch card, then I'll recognize you now. You got
You'll
2.
get 2 punches.
You got 2 punches, price of 1.
What about referrals? Can we get an extra
I'll give
punch?
it to you. Here you go.
All right.
Flip, we are
got
really
2.
investing in this punch card economy you have set up.
So referrals don't count as an extra punch, even if it's a reliable. No?
I don't get anything for this. This is just how
I proved that I was loyal
Do you
to
want
this
how you track your-
establishment.
This is how you track friendship.
Not that
Yeah.
far. You gave the heart away.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm
Come back.
loyal.
First time I don't know who you are. The second time
You
I
gonna be my
recognize you.
friend.
The third time we're friends.
guys
And if
just
someone wrongs you, do you fill one back in?
He just
Felt
feels
something.
it.
Though then the punch card gets ripped up and
They got to start over.
no, they ain't get another one. They
Oh.
banned.
It's a one and done type of.
Yeah,
So 3 tries to be your friend, 1 time to lose you as a friend.
that's right.
The meat sounds
You're
great.
the worst customer,
Yeah.
Mark, too.
We'll do meat and potato.
All right.
Boundaries are healthy.
I'll send someone over. You all looking for other substances or anything, or just meat?
Potatoes.
Well, if you got a menu.
I'll send someone over.
Thank you, Flip.
Much appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go for those taters.
Yeah, you guys walk over to the table.
This table's in the middle of the room, you said?
Yeah. There's space
But they're,
in
like,
between
far,
each one,
right?
but yeah,
Yeah.
they're just around. It's far enough that the tables, you're not hearing what's going on at another table from your table. There's too much background noise of other sounds. It's all gibberish.
So Genevieve's gonna put her hood up.
These
Yeah.
people having very loud sex
Yeah.
in the sand pit.
Yeah.
Why you hide those?
Too easy to recognize.
Sure, it's not like you ain't seen a tiefling before, though. Although you are a bit peculiar.
It's a word.
It is.
Wow.
Maybe a little bit.
Which parent?
I don't think you can just ask that.
Who's your
Was it
daddy?
the mother, right? Was the,
The mother?
yeah, the mother. The holy
Not
mother.
your mother. The mother.
The mother, yes.
Mother.
Yes.
She's from House of Tieflings.
I know you sent me that information somewhere, but
I did. It's in your NPC list.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you all are sitting at the table, and a dwarven man walks over. In like, on his arms, he has like scar tattoos rippling up from his wrists. You can see that there are burn marks on his hands. He is dressed very similarly to I am dressed. Sleeves rolled up. Walks over. What could I get you?
Well, I believe we ordered the meat and potatoes.
Not food.
Drinks, the other
Drinks
menu.
and more.
The other menu. I'll have myself a Menza Baranzian mule.
You look like a Fey Mudweiser man.
Nah, I can't do it. I can't stomach it. I do take kindly to the Menza Baranzians, but something along those lines would be nice. Something dark.
You want a little something extra mixed in or not?
Well, what's that menu look like? What are you dealing here?
We got various forms of zest. You looking for clarity and confidence, strength and silence, or you looking to get rid of something?
I don't suppose I'd be able to find some. Something red. Perhaps vermilion to be specific.
We don't deal in that here.
No.
We specifically mix zest into the drinks.
Would you be able to identify a drug if I showed you one?
I'm not a fucking salesman.
No, but figured you might know better than I do.
Perhaps if you give me a tip, I could identify. But I ain't gonna give my knowledge for free. Y'all ain't bought anything yet.
I'll have just a whiskey.
All right.
You carry any Brimgren?
I might have some out of my personal stash.
How much would that run me?
Depends how much you're looking for.
Just one.
20 gold.
Not right now. Good to know, though. I appreciate.
What's this you need me to look at?
I'm gonna show him the orange-red powder. That is the extent of the description that I have.
Yep. Let me pull up.
That was given to you by
Richard.
Dick.
There it is.
He gave it to you after you fainted, right? Fainted, quotations.
Yeah. Red orange powder with gold flecks. Sorry.
It's Viagra. It gives you a boner.
That's a form of zest you got there, young man. Citrus blood, to be exact.
Citrus blood. What does that impart?
No shit.
An intense spike of lucidity, clarity, pattern recognition.
Interesting. Well, thank you. Here's a gold.
Thank you. What can I get anyone else?
I have a Fey-teeny.
All right. Any mix-ins?
No, I'd like to keep myself level-headed.
I mean, ain't nothing better for level-headedness than a little bit of zest.
I'd like to keep myself even keel.
All right.
I'll have the wild vial, but clean, please.
All right. Anyone else?
I'll take something that tastes real nice. Don't
You
mix
gotta
it.
give me more than that.
I don't want any mix-ins.
You're looking for
He's
citrus
gonna give
or
you some
floral?
real nice.
Something floral.
2 glasses, Claire Lux Noir.
That's good stuff right there.
Fill 'em.
All right. You want that whiskey, metal man?
I do, yeah.
All right. You want top shelf or bottom? Or something right in the middle?
Give me your preferred.
You want something that'll mix with that powder you got there?
No, I do not.
All right. Be back a couple minutes. Food will be right out.
I'm gonna go try and hunt down the ladies' room. Kind of keep eyes on the place.
You come right back.
Couple minutes go by, your food comes out. Plates of meat and potatoes, as
Hell yeah.
described.
Meat and mash?
Taters.
Is it meat?
It's meat and mash.
Okay, cool. Just like scooping onto the plate.
Yeah, it looks like it is like charcoal grilled meat of some variety.
I'm gonna tear into that. I'm hungry.
Yeah. It's good.
It's good.
Simple.
Doesn't taste like, weird. Okay.
There are cockroaches in it, so I mean.
I'm not worried about bugs.
What do you mean, bug?
What do you mean,
What do you mean, bugs?
Are you looking for anything in particular?
Scoping out the place, I was just sending you a message.
Oh, all right. Well, then I'll have to check that out. Yes, you did.
just like stuff in my face. I'm like, so, cool breeze. You said it was your mom?
Yep. I cannot find Nick. The document where you broke down like the tiefling backgrounds. Do you know where that is? I remember talking about it. I swear I saw it, but it's not in any of my notes.
I have a note here if you want me to just share it with her.
Yeah, that's fine.
1 and 5.
I may not have put it in yours.
It would have been. My mother was the. Right? That's what we established.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Fancy folk.
Yeah. Was she also like Ember Guild?
Oh yeah, she had the spark. She's a socialite, so it made the people are real interested. She's
I can see
pretty,
that.
sparkly.
Can't say I've ever had the pleasure meeting someone like that.
Just like anyone else.
Sure.
I'm gonna give the cube to Ulysses. Because I still have that in my pocket.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I've got like pretty much all the stuff.
I don't say anything about it.
Yeah, no, I would just take it silently.
Just pass it under the table.
I'm
Yeah.
still munching on tater tots.
It is interesting though. I don't. In my time up top, I did ran into a handful of tieflings. Very interesting folk. Can't say I ever seen any of them sparkle. Very cool though. Probably a sight to behold.
I don't know about that. Just it's like seeing a real beautiful person out in the street.
I suppose.
Nothing.
You know, things are different here to me. Like, there's a lot here that's different from what I'm used to. At least that I can remember. For now, at least.
So what are things like where you're from? If they're so different here.
Gray. Muddled.
Well, there's no colors.
Just not as vibrant. There are times. Like times when sun rises or sets, changes the color of everything. And for a couple minutes, it's beautiful. But there's a lot of ugly.
I mean, not everything here is beautiful.
You know. Ain't that most places. No, but the people are resilient. Yeah, I just remember a lot of gray. A lot of fog.
You trying to get back there?
I don't know if I can. And there's a decent amount of people down here that probably want me dead. Because I sent them back here. But maybe they'd be able to share some sort of information on how to get back. I ain't trying. I'm more needed down here. Can't even remember where I came from exactly. Finding my way back to where I don't know.
It seems like you've made some friends here.
I did. Not your typical types, but you know.
But that
Like
will come
calls
back
the
to
like.
table.
Like calls the like.
What are we discussing?
Nothing.
Colors.
What kind of colors?
What's your favorite?
Blue.
Could have guessed that.
So is your hair that colored naturally? You don't put anything on it to...
No, I try and wash it when I get access to water, but no, I get it from my mom.
She sounds interesting.
She's great. Scariest son of a bitch I've ever met.
Scarier than me?
Oh, honey. Let's just say I get her, I don't know.
Tenacity.
That's a word you could use, I guess. She's yeah, back before we left, she used to be a guard. She was one of the roughest ones.
Are they the ones who you're trying to stay away from?
My parents fled with me. I was able to show them the ways of the church to try and find answers.
Mark, you need to update.
Updating.
They waiting for you at the monastery, right?
Her and my dad. They're good people.
Are they on the run too?
I mean, they're kind of staying put for now, but in a sense, yeah. They're helping out at the monastery, so I know they're safe.
I very much look forward to getting to meet them someday.
I think they'd like you.
I hope so. I think I'm quite likable.
I'm very humble.
Oh, you have no idea.
I'm the most humble, actually.
Dwarf man walks back and sets the drinks on the table, slides them around. You enjoy those if you need anything else. He points to a small little glowing bell in the center of the table. You just ring that, I'll be right over.
Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And what did you end up getting me?
The Menzobrazian,
All right.
as requested.
Thank you.
Would I know this as a reputable establishment to the patrons here?
I mean, as reputable as a drug-laden gambling house can be.
Whorehouse.
It's a gambling night.
It's not
So
here.
varied. They deal in customer service.
Oh, I thought I remembered that from... Or was that just because...
People are just doing that.
I'm
Got
just
it.
excited to have
Yeah.
meat and potatoes.
It's the drugs, probably.
Yeah, they're not gonna give you something you didn't ask
Okay.
for.
Yeah.
That's
Because that
that's
costs
my-
money.
No, they rely on
They're
secrecy and you being a returning
yeah.
customer.
Their patrons trust them.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Yeah. You enjoy those.
Thank you.
Real quick.
Mm.
We're here, we're a bit early. We got a meeting at about 12.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Coming
there-
up.
Is there a private room? Maybe a private party being booked?
Like a birthday.
We don't really do private rooms here for security reasons. This is your privacy.
Understood.
There's enough noise. There are strategically placed rust implements to introduce background sounds. You ain't gonna hear what's going on at another table, even if you're
Interesting.
talking.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we're waiting on our
Believe me,
friend,
I
and when he arrives, I guess you could tell Flip to have him meet us here. You know Richard?
Mm-hmm.
As we were waiting on Richard.
I know. He steps away.
Gonna take my glass and just push it to the center of the edge of the table.
Ulysses, can you check these out like you did with the stuff earlier?
I start drinking mine.
I'm just gonna. Oh wait, no, I got a thing for this.
Hmm?
I'm gonna put my hand over my glass and spend 5 of my, or what is it, 5? I don't think it's 5. Hold on. I'm gonna purify poison for my drink.
Okay.
It's not
You
alcoholic.
took
No longer
Yeah.
alcoholic, yeah, because alcohol is poison.
Doesn't matter.
This is water. He's Jesus.
Hey,
It's actually worse than water.
Yeah.
You turn wine into water?
It
hey,
tastes like
it's a mule. It's just ginger.
The ginger is also now water. It's just dust.
Let me see how the fuck this works. I forget how it works again.
For lay on hands.
Yeah, for purify poison.
I don't know if you can do it to substances. I thought you could do it to people.
I don't think you can.
I didn't think you could do that as part of laying on hands, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Or lesser restoration, I guess is what it is.
Draw power from your pool. Restore a number of hit points.
Heal creatures or cure them of diseases and
Yeah.
poisons.
I believe it's in increments of 5 points.
Gotcha.
Yep.
But only for creatures.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's uses, yeah.
Not to the drink.
Yep.
Alright, well. Then I'll heal myself if I need to.
Yeah. It's good. All of these drinks are very good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I trust it.
Well,
What do we do?
I think we're waiting on Mr. Tenenbaum.
sit back and wait, I guess.
As I said, I am the one that hired the 5 of you. That is all you need know.
Barry's really disappointed she can't hear other people's conversations.
Yeah. you like try to and can't. There is just
I'm a very
almost like a
noisy possum.
wall of mumbling
Very
in
nice.
between the tables.
Eavesdropper. I've been dropping no eaves, sir.
Ulysses, you got this?
Yeah.
Because I don't trust this motherfucker at all.
Nor do I.
It's like my hair on the back of my neck is standing up about this whole fucking thing. It stinks.
I live that way the whole day in, day out experience.
No, it's different. I've got like this this thing.
Like a gut feeling?
A panic
I've always
attack.
had it.
Like a sixth sense?
Autism.
Well, no, like since being down here, I just kind of feel like I know when shit's gonna go down.
Maybe some kind of diviner?
Do you need a stronger drink to take the edge off?
No, I think there's something wrong with them potatoes.
Your
don't
tummy hurt.
yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
See if they have Phenadril? Famodium?
Famodium, yeah. Famodium.
Fey in the wall.
There's ginger in your drink, right?
Yeah.
Keep drinking it.
About
Find
an
it
hour.
best to know that no matter what happens, we are walking out of here alive. Have no worries about that, folks.
No, I don't have a worry about that. It's about how happy y'all are gonna be with me trying to get us there.
Ulysses has the cards.
And just tap all the items on the table. And play it straight and easy.
About an hour goes by. Midnight strikes, and right at midnight, the door opens, and in walks the figure of Richard Tannenbaum, flanked by 3 additionally burly raccoon boys. Behind him, he is dressed in the same over-tailored velvet waistcoat and pants, still shimmering iridescently kind of beneath his fur. Walking with the cane, walks in, looks right at the table you all are at, and walks towards the table.
Yeah, I'll give him a sly little wave.
He's just going to tip his cap. And he will pull the chair at the head of the table, sit down as the three boys step slightly away. He's going to fold his hands on the table. A familiar face.
You already seen me more than once.
Yeah, and several of you been in my bedroom, so
Lovely house.
thank you.
Isn't that the point of the establishment you run, is to bring people to your bedroom?
No, that's just a positive side effect.
Sure.
Well,
All your things are here.
What the fuck you want?
2 tags. Picked up earlier from the sorting annex.
How you come to know about the tags?
I had to do a job. Job on behalf of another man. Need them tags.
He reaches down into his shirt and pulls a chain out, and you can see there are 2 tags. 2 tags.
Today from the sorting annex tags. Who picked them up?
One of my associates.
What'd they go by? It's mask, whether or not he's telling the truth or not.
yeah. Mask.
One of these 3 your boy?
He points back to the center one.
I'm gonna wave at him.
He just looks, doesn't move. Let me see what you got here.
I would pass all of the things across.
Pick them up, flip through them. Got yourself a nice little haul here from my trove of secrets.
Got yourself a nice busy of businesses.
I do indeed.
2 tags.
The problem is that you see I need these tags.
So do we.
I know a person that can duplicate these tags. You're welcome to take the originals, I'll take the copy. But I need these tags as much as I need those papers back, if not more.
If we are looking for the same 2 individuals, do you want them individuals simply brought back to you on your behalf?
Oh no. These serve a much different purpose than that, but thank you. Appreciate the offer.
Of course. I'm a businessman too. Sometimes businesses align in confidence.
They do from time to time, but this ain't one of those situations.
How can you be so sure?
I got my own plans that I ain't willing to depart upon y'all. Maybe you show me yours, I'll show you mine, but I can't make that guarantee.
I feel I've seen a fair share of your plans.
Typically, you gotta pay extra to see his.
Maybe sometime you come back to the bedroom for different purposes, but that be up to you.
I do more than destroy desks.
Hey, oh.
Do we need to be here for this conversation?
I said no.
This is what happened the last time I was here with him.
I just want to go to the circus. TJ.
I just want to go to the damn circus.
Fair enough. So you need these tags on behalf of some mysterious figure?
A figure that you know too. By my supposition. Man out Claire Lux way.
A lot of people in Clara Lux.
Yes, there are, but ain't only one family in Rustricity.
That's true enough. He ain't the kind of man be interested in glass jaws, though.
No, not for glass jaws. For particular items the glass jaws done took.
Ah.
The kind with messages on the back.
Much like mine, I suppose.
As I said, sometimes businesses do align in confidence.
Different strokes on this one, though.
Suppose that means, Shelley is clean.
Shell is clean.
Good to hear.
I'm being forthright with you because I can tell you are an intelligent individual, one that would have inspected the merchandise thoroughly.
Mm-hmm. I know. That is why I passed your papers back to you.
Appreciate that.
Of course. Where is this individual that can make these copies?
Goes by the way of Chime, up on the hill. I can summon her here. Seems like a safer entry point than wandering out into the Narrows.
I think we're happy to walk with you.
Oh no, I insist. We gonna meet here.
Oh. When?
Now. I'll send for her now.
Satisfied.
If and that's what you need.
Absolutely.
I'm watching his guards like a fucking hawk.
Mm-hmm.
Insight. I want to see if he's actually like trying to summon Chime or if this is a ruse to
Sure,
bring
make an insight check.
reinforcements. A ruse. 16.
Okay. His face is very difficult to read, but as far as you can tell, you don't detect any immediate threat in that description of the words he is saying. That's not to say there aren't other threats, but
Sure. Okay.
it seems like he is insisting, we are staying here.
Okay.
This is the meeting point. I will summon Chime.
Okay.
With Eyeball and the three guards there. I kind of want to do like an ocular pat down of sorts, like look and see like, oh, this guy's like leaning on his left leg, favoring this side, or this guy's got his hand on his belt, like kind of stuff.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah, make a perception check.
13.
Okay. Yeah, they all have guns.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't get the exact location of everything, but you can tell that each of them has more than one weapon. One, you can see like a slight bulge in the pocket here. They are clearly wearing holsters with guns on them. There are definitely other concealed things on their person. You can see some of them maybe not.
Okay.
Into Ulysses' head, I would say, if Chime knew she could make duplicates, why would she send us on a rat race to get it from him? Why not just ask him to come back and make a duplicate for him?
She has no stake in doing this for us other than out of the kindness of her heart now that we met her.
You would think she would have given us warning if he was dangerous.
I think Chime is very preoccupied.
Chime didn't know he had them. Chime said that they were at the annex.
Oh,
That's all
that's
she
right.
knew.
That's
She
right.
did
I
not
thought
know
she
he
sent
had
us
them.
out there. Okay, that's
Yeah, we
fair.
found out through shuffling at the
Yep.
annex.
No, that's right.
Yeah, he beckons over to one of the guards. Mask walks forward, kneels down. He just whispers back. Mask steps back, just puts his hand to his ear for a moment, and then just crosses his arms again. She'll be here shortly.
Much appreciated.
Can I perception check and see if I can hear what he said to him?
Sure.
Okay. I'm sure it's probably nothing.
Can
but-
I also do that?
Sure.
Because I'm also trying to listen.
You're
At his
actively
necklace.
trying
Yeah.
to eavesdrop.
I'm
Fair
being
point.
very adamant.
13.
Okay.
And I add my perception.
Mm-hmm.
10.
Neither of you hear anything. He's very specifically hovering per visual, and he's very quiet.
You've been in this business a long time.
In one way or another, yeah.
I'm pointed at his hands. Business ain't always go so well.
Oh, these old things. They're from a path whose footsteps I ain't leaving the sand no more.
We all leave lives we walk behind. These areas. Undercutting?
What, the ones on the contract?
Mm-hmm.
There's things buried beneath this earth, but I reckon you already know that.
Hard time moving them.
Depends on the item. Sometimes easy to move, sometimes more difficult. It depends on the size and the scope.
Depend on where bound.
Depend on where bound to.
Depend on who looking.
Depend on who looking. Very often with me, people ain't looking.
It's a good reputation to have. Much better than most reliable gentlemen.
I am the most reliable gentleman in Beacon's End. You want something somewhere, I'll get it for you. What is it you want?
You make that box work before?
That one?
Mm-hmm.
This whole box.
Your box still work?
Do you make your box work?
So you've heard what's inside.
Heard plenty.
Clever.
You ain't the only one interested in that man's death.
Who's to say I have any idea what you're talking about? It's just a box with a voice in it.
Can't imagine a man who's working inside the southern cistern tunnels don't know about a man that gets hung up on a rust hook.
I got people do things for me. I ain't walking around the tunnels all on my lonesome.
Oh, no accusations thrown your way, sir. Saying simply that the information is quite public.
Well, as I told your friend here, there are eyes in Beacon's End.
Lips
Ears,
too.
too. Lips, too. He leans in.
What else?
Then we kiss and all of a sudden we're best friends.
What about
Are there tongues in Beacon's End?
are there other?
Suppose I might know a bit more about that man. You say you're the one being forthright with your information. Might I be forthright with mine?
That's something you'd like to do. I ain't gonna stop you from talking.
Business is business. Never gonna know what might come your way unless you open the door.
Open it up, then.
Hunting that man a long time.
Ulysses uncrosses his legs. He's not wearing underwear. I pulled across his leg.
They're not even flirting, and they're flirting.
Been hunting that man a long time. All on behalf of Mr. Bumbumbledore. Never had much trust the way Mr. Lux. Suppose you understand why?
Paranoid man.
Indeed. Zest-addled brain, hard to know what that man say, true or not. Like you said, eyes and ears everywhere. Gotta keep looking on that man even when he digging down deep. Start bringing stuff back, though. Stuff that changed the game.
As was his directive, yeah.
Stuff Mr. Bumbumbledore looking to inject into other areas. Help them grow.
As is his directive.
Is that something you want in Beacon's End?
I don't care much for the goings-on of Beacon's End specifically. This ain't my town.
No, it ain't.
I may know how it works, know what levers to pull, but that ain't mean I got interest in it.
Then why you stay?
It's a wonderful place. A lot of wonderful people, centrally located, off
no
the
interest.
rails. Why would I not?
But no interest.
In the city itself? No. But that ain't mean that I don't have interest in what goes on. Just because I don't have interest in Beacon's End. I ain't looking for a seat on the fucking court. I ain't looking to be a government official.
Someone can do a lot in that office.
Not something I'm looking to do. I got my hands in a lot of pies, as I'm sure you discerned.
What kind? Sorry, I'm real hungry.
Peach.
Oh,
I gotta fucking go. I hate
Handed
this.
someone's ass.
I am no better than a 12-year-old, and this conversation is...
butt pie.
He said he's got knobs that he's gotta pull, and even if he's not interested, I gotta fucking go.
How about you, Metal Man? You take that, little vial?
no, I have not.
I told you it would give you clarity. You done passed out in my foyer.
I didn't pass out. That was latent charge left from the gate.
The gate that your friend electrified. And then you grabbed hold of.
Well, see, it wasn't electrified.
I know. He just taps his eye, and you can see a, like, shimmery, iridescent ring around his iris. As I said, Beacon's End got eyes, son.
Right. But no, I did not try that drug, no.
Perhaps you want to give it a try. I might give you some answers you're looking for. You seemed like you had a lot of questions.
I mean, who doesn't question their existence and origin?
Why are any of us here? That's
Do
right, my
his
friend.
eyes look familiar to me?
Not in particular.
Okay.
It's not like your father's. Like, his looks like a normal eye. There just is a ring of light around the iris.
Okay.
That's not to say there is not a rust implant in it, but it is, like, your father's was like an ocular thing.
Yeah.
This is not that.
Okay.
God,
This is-
camera in his
Got a
head.
contact.
Like, this is more high tech than that.
Oh. Okay.
This looks like an eye.
Okay.
If you're not looking for it,
It's
you're
easy
not
to
going to
miss.
see it.
Got a contact lens.
Yeah. I don't have questions about my existence. Ask yourself, why do you?
Ask yourself, why do you not? Are you not a curious man by nature?
I'm an incredibly curious man by nature, but I know where I came from and I know who I am.
Do you know where you came from, but do you know why you're here?
I know exactly what I've been placed here to do.
Do you know that's what you've been placed here to do, or is that what you hope you were placed here to do?
You're talking yourself in circles. I
I
ain't
do
got
that
time for
frequently.
that. I'm a very busy man and I have not got all night.
You asked me if I took the drug. I said no.
I was gonna say you opened that door, my friend.
You knew he didn't take the drug. Why would you ask?
Respectfully, I'm going to close the door.
There's your answer. Did I take the drug? Nothing is clear.
Why are you without hope?
Do you not look to the stars and wonder, Raccoon Man?
I said yes or no, and you said hope.
What run-ins you got with the elusive Mr. Bumbledore?
The bedroom kind.
Ooh.
Spell, sis.
Tea.
Certain things only get talked about. Certain locations, you know.
Beneath the sheets.
Mm-hmm.
That's true enough of a lot of things.
I'm all about singing.
Are you now?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. And she felt her winning. I'm sorry.
She's unmedicated.
Ask me if I took this test.
Why you care whether or not Bones is in the wrong direction? Same for Claws.
You read the papers. You perceptive enough to figure it out.
Yeah, but if Bones and Claws got people inside Beacon's End, you certain you feel confident they're not gonna simply walk inside your cistern?
Pretty confident.
For your safety, I pray that's true.
I know it's true. I know exactly where to point the finger should it need pointing.
So do I. That's why I feel you and I will be, despite the obvious,
Rocky
suspicious
start.
nature where we find ourselves.
The B&E, yeah.
Ain't no fog around my eyes. Nor yours.
That's a read.
Open book.
Open book indeed.
As open as books can be, of course. He just kind of eyes the journal.
Mm-hmm. I suppose that means when we get our tags, go about our separate ways. Ideally, sometime perhaps I'll stop by.
If our paths should cross again, that might lead to some interesting business. But who can say? Your paths may take you a very different way if you walking with the Bumbumbledores.
Less walking with.
Walking for.
No, not walking for.
Walking to.
Not walking too. We can play this game a long time.
Prepositions.
Walking from.
Walking 3.
Walking why?
To walk to
Too furious.
Walking above.
It's a dangerous place to be, boy.
Don't I know it? But goddamn it, ain't life interesting when it's dangerous.
Wild card, Molotov on the table.
I find
Andy
it
picks
more
up another
enjoyable
vase.
that way myself.
I would hold up my hands with no black marks. I suppose you know what this say about me in turn then, huh?
I do indeed. But you don't know what this say about me.
What if I'd like to?
That might be business for another time.
Sheet talk.
Perhaps.
You're gonna have to fuck me for it. If you want to know.
So they're gonna sleep together.
That ain't first date conversation.
No, I know the punch card system. Trust me. Quite familiar.
Third time, that's when I give it up. It's like clockwork with this one.
Consider this the first then, huh?
I'd say it was the second.
I would pass my wine across the table.
No.
Not a fan.
Pulls out a flask from in his jacket. I only drink my own. But I appreciate it.
Of course. I would pull it back and I would drink in unison with him.
Yeah.
I would finish the glass. Set it back down.
When he cracked that open, what does it smell like?
You get a hint of citrus.
Okay.
It's lemonade.
Touche.
It's tea!
This is a pretty zesty conversation.
Just lemonade!
He's got Arnold Palmer. At that moment, as he drinks his drink, Chime walks in, walks over to the table and sits down at one of the empty chairs. You see she has a small box that has like metal bits folded into it. How may I be of service?
I would just gesture my hand out to Richard. Two
He-
tags.
Reaches into his jacket, pulls out these two, reaches into his pocket, pulls out two more. Copies, dear. She reaches out and holds her hands, and he places both sets into her hands, and she puts them down on the counter visibly and starts unfolding implements from this box, forming similarly into the like large sphere that she had where she was rotating the objects. Kind of builds out this sphere, pulls implements off of like her ears and things and sticks them into place, pulling them from pockets, small crystals, and kind of like pulls things out of her messy hair and sets them in place. And she takes the two empty tags and hangs them on hooks at the top corners of this device, which is now just like it's very similar to those like balls that you expand that we had described that your little guy kind of looked like. It's very similar to that, but it is sitting in like a plant pot base, and it is covered in small metal fragments hanging on like earring hooks and gems, very similar to the things that she has hanging around her entire bell tower, as if this is like a miniature capture device.
I would nudge Barry and like.
She pulls the necklace and hangs it in the center. And she reaches into her shirt pocket and pulls out a larger purple shimmering crystal and sets it into the plant pot base. And just kind of tilts her head and adjusts the wires. And she pulls from her earrings 2 cables that extend outwards, and she hooks them to the 2 echo tags that are hanging at the top of this device. And she closes her eyes and just twists and begins to spin these echo tags hanging on the chain as the crystal lights up and lets off a pulse of energy as everything inside of this sphere stops as these hover with anti-gravity and spin around in the space. And you can see that she just tilts her head. Barry, please make a perception check with advantage for me.
This might be overkill.
Well, that's a D12, not a D20.
Oh.
I got a 12.
Oh, that's what I was rolling the whole time.
Not 12.
I want to check to see if that's actually.
That's why all my rolls were
like if her
low.
mannerisms stay the same. The fact that he
Oh.
was so adamant about us not going to her place, but her coming
Sure.
here.
Yeah.
Damn. It's a 1, so 4. And then 11.
11? Okay.
13.
Seems like Chime. She's behaving very similarly to
Okay.
how she was before. He just doesn't want to go there because he doesn't want to walk out in the middle of
That's
nowhere
fair.
with people he doesn't know.
This is just
this
very
is not.
shady.
It's not his neighborhood.
He's very
We have-
shady though. I'm like
We,
very.
Oh,
we
he's
did break
incredibly
into his
shady.
house and steal from him. So like we
Yeah.
are.
I mean,
Yeah.
We are a threat.
listen.
We're shady.
We are shady.
Yeah.
That's listen.
Chime spins these tags, and you all don't hear anything. To you, it doesn't sound like anything. Chime tilts her head and twists some dials as you can see that there is a small pulse of blue and pink, almost smoke that kind of twists through the cables and winds its way down towards the chips. And Barry, you hear very, very faintly what sounds like crackling static kind of rippling through the space as you're like looking around trying to find the source of it, where it's like spinning around your head almost. As you hear crackling nothingness in the vortex of sound in the rest of the Grinning House. And we're going to end there.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. Thank you all very much for watching this evening. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you are new here, please make sure you follow so that way you can find your way back, because the sands of time do not work like that. And if you don't follow, you will not find your way back.
There's a learning curve.
There's a learning curve. You can also check out our website, NotGreatRPG.com. We have all the links to our social media on there. We are wherever you find your podcasts. This one would be on the one that I DM, which is all the things I DM, which is on Not Great RPG More. The City of Ocean and the things that John DMs are on Not Great RPG. We're also on YouTube. We are on TikTok. We're on Instagram. We post funny reels and things of that nature. All fun things for you to find. We post recaps of the episodes on our website, so that way you can catch up if you have missed out and you are looking to quickly catch up. Yeah.
Special
Fuck you,
thank
dog.
you to Not Great Entertainment
Yes.
for
Thank you.
producing
Thank
this
you.
episode.
Thank you. We appreciate you all. Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you all next time out there on the frontier.
Good night.
Bye, Freddie.